This is my entire sneaker collection, and it's not small. It's like 100-something pairs of sneakers, which is more than anybody actually needs. But I love it. It's filled with pairs that are hyped up, pairs that are just tied to really great memories, and pairs that are super nostalgic for me. And in today's video, I'm gonna show you guys all of it. And make sure to stay tuned to the end because I've got a sneak peek of a pair of sneakers that I'm picking up that I'm really excited to show you guys. And this video isn't just about me showcasing the sneakers in my collection, it's also gonna help me decide which pairs of sneakers to keep. I've got a wall of sneaker boxes over here. It's about 84 boxes. I think it's 12 boxes high and 7 boxes wide. And in order for me to keep a pair of sneakers, it has to go in the box. If it doesn't go in the box, I'm getting rid of it. I try to clean out my collection every year of the pairs that I don't wear anymore, or the pairs that I just don't care about, that maybe I bought throughout the year that I just didn't need. And I'm gonna do that again today. And at the end of today's video, I'm gonna show you guys which pairs I ended up keeping. And of course, if you wanna grab any of the pairs that I mentioned in today's video, I've made sure to link the main ones through the YouTube shopping tab on your screen. Or if you guys wanna grab the pairs from my actual collection that I'm not gonna end up keeping, I'm gonna be selling them on Whatnot, linked in the top of the description below, so make sure to check that out. Side note, I'm actually giving away the brand new UNLA Air Jordan 1 Chicago Shadows to one of you guys. All you need to do to enter this giveaway is to subscribe to my brand new podcast, the Shoes Off Podcast on YouTube, which is linked in the top of the description below, and get the 2 core badges needed for this giveaway. The first core badge is available in the link in the top of the description below, and the second one will drop exclusively on the Shoes Off Podcast YouTube channel in an upcoming episode, so stay tuned for that. So again, if you want a chance to win this incredible pair of sneakers for yourself, make sure to subscribe to the Shoes Off Podcast on YouTube, linked down below, and get both core badges. The first one, again, linked in the description below as well. With all that finally out of the way, let's dive into the collection. But let's start things off with one of the most popular brands out there at the moment, ASICS, and these are all the pairs of ASICS that I currently have in my collection. But let's start things off on sort of the lower heat end and work our way up to the high heat. So the first pair in the collection is the ASICS Gel Nimbus 27. This pair just released. It's one of the most comfortable pairs of sneakers I've ever worn, and if you're looking for a max cushion runner, this is the way to go. Now, there's not a lot of great colorways of this shoe, but it's incredibly comfortable. Next, we've got the ASICS Gel 1130s. This is one of my go-to pairs of sneakers. It's really well priced. I think it's like $100, and the colorway on this shoe is absolutely fire. Similarly, we've got the ASICS Gel Kayano 14s. I always get screwed up with the names. This pair looks similar to the Gel 1130s, but that's because this shoe is the big brother to that shoe, and this is probably my most worn pair of ASICS, at least overall, I think. This is a pair that I've had the longest out of everything on the table, and it's the pair that I'm sure that I've worn the most. Crazy comfortable, good looking shoe, and the Kayano 14s, you can't really go wrong. Next up, we've got the Jound ASICS GT 2160s. These dropped, I believe, sometime last year. Now, I've worn this pair a decent amount. One of my go-tos as well. I don't wear it as much because it kind of looks a little bit more basic, even though it is a Jound collab, but it's one of those shoes that's comfortable, it's easy to throw on, it's leaving dirt on my table, and I just like it. I just like this shoe a lot. After that, we've got a pair that I actually haven't unDS'd yet, and this is the ASICS Gel Venture 6 Shield. This is the hidden collaboration. Now, this pair released, I think, first at ComplexCon Las Vegas, and I wasn't able to grab it there, so I bought it for resale. Fire pair of sneakers. Again, I haven't actually busted it out yet, but speaking of hidden, we've got the other hidden. This is the hidden ASICS Gel NYCs. This pair released last year. This colorway is absolutely fire. The shoe is inspired by Photoshop, and as someone who has a design degree, Photoshop is one of those programs that I use all the time, even to this day, both for my sock brand Apothecary and for the YouTube channel, creating thumbnails and things like that. Speaking of which, if you want to grab a pair of socks to match any pair of sneakers in your collection, make sure to check out my sock brand Apothecary. Not only do they match sneakers perfectly, but they're also one of the most comfortable, if not the most comfortable pair of socks out there. I know I'm biased, but seriously, they're amazingly comfortable, breathable, and they fit great because of our proprietary ISOweave technology that we spent the last like 4 years working on. So if you guys want to grab a pair of Apothecary socks, make sure to use the link in the top of the description below. It's also, you can go through the YouTube shopping tab as well. And if you use my code Seth, you get $5 off of your first purchase. So seriously, check that out. As we continue on with the ASICS, we've got the ASICS Gel Kayano 2020s. Forgot the name of these. This is a Bodega collaboration. I believe the name of this collaboration is Small Wins Add Up or something like that. Small Things. I don't remember the exact name, but it comes in this really nice understated sort of tan color. And then the one next to it looks similar, and that's because it's actually the Friends and Family colorway of the ASICS Gel Kayano 20 Bodegas. Now, I think this colorway actually did release to the public, and I don't know if it sold out. I'm sure it did sell out eventually, but I don't know if it sold out immediately. But they actually sent me this pair, so huge thank you to Bodega. Actually, they sent me both of these pairs, so huge thank you to Bodega for always supporting the channel. But yeah, these are my ASICS. It's actually, like I said, less than I thought, and they're all kind of tan. I didn't realize they're all kind of like tan and white ASICs, but hey, I guess that's what I like when it comes to ASICs. So let's move on to the next brand. Oh, I actually did forget the ASICS ActiBreeze 3Ds. I have a couple pairs of these. There's this one, which is fully 3D printed, and there's another pair, which is like sort of half 3D printed, like the insole is 3D printed. I know it's not really sneakers, but I figured it's cool enough I wanted to show you guys. So forgot about that. But with that being said, I've got 3 other brands here. We've got Saucony or Saucony, I'm not sure how to say it. We've got Brooks, and we've got Hoka. These are 3 running brands that I don't have a lot of pairs of, but I do really like these brands a lot. So Starting things off with Hoka, we've got the Hoka Bondi 9. This is like one of their most comfortable shoes, if not their most comfortable shoe. And it's crazy soft underfoot. It's really, really soft. I've had a lot of pairs of Hokas, but this is actually the only pair that I've held on to, so definitely recommend it. Not the prettiest shoe, but crazy comfortable. Speaking of comfortable, let's get into Brooks. We've got the Brooks Glycerin Max. This shoe actually looks awesome. Obviously, it's super chunky, but it is ridiculously soft underfoot. It is by far their softest shoe that they make, and I think they killed it. I think they absolutely did a great job with this shoe because it looks good, feels amazing. It's expensive though. I think it's like $200+. After that, we've got Jeff Staples' collaboration with Brooks. I think this is on the Brooks GTS 4. I don't know the name of it. I just know it looks cool. It's a staple collab, and I don't think it's fully sold out. So if you guys want to check it out through the YouTube shopping tab on your screen, absolutely recommend it. This shoe is fire. It's mad comfortable. Jeff Staple did it once again. He always kills these collaborations, and this one is just straight fire. Getting into Saucony, we've got the Saucony Bodega Grid Shadow 2. This is the Bodega collaboration, obviously. It comes with like this really nice sort of like mesh, not mesh, I guess like hemp upper. I don't really know what to call that. Super thick laces, really clean colorway. The tans and the greens just hit. And then finishing off Saucony, we've got this new hotness, which everyone seems to love. This is the J-Tips collab. Now this is on the Pro Grid, I believe. The Pro Grid. Shoot, man, I'm really not good with the names of Sauconys, but this is the To-Do List colorway, I think. But J-Tips is absolutely killing it with Saucony. This is my favorite pair that he's done so far, though, to be honest. So I would recommend picking this pair up. I don't know what resale is like, but it's probably not great. Next up is a brand that I've been getting into a lot recently, and that's On, the Swiss running company. Now I've got 5 pairs of Ons right now. I've actually had more because On sent me a couple pairs for a video that I did, so shout out to them for that. So let's go through these, I guess, in order of my favorite, or sort of order of my favorite, because I kind of like them all equally except for one. The first one is the Cloud Surfer Trail, which is sort of a trail running sneaker that features the same sort of midsole that you find in the Cloud Surfer, which is like one of their main running sneakers. Next up, we've got the Cloud Monster 2. Now this shoe is truly a monster. It's thick, it's comfy, it's soft. It does have a carbon fiber shank running down the center of it, so it does have some nice bounce back, or I guess, what's the word I'm looking for? Responsiveness, which I really like about this. Then you've got the marathon running shoe. As someone who's never run a marathon, but likes very soft shoes, I really like this. This is a Cloud Boom Strike. This shoe is incredibly soft underfoot, but again, it's made specifically for marathon running, so it's not a shoe that I would wear casually, although I do like it a lot. After that, we've got the Cloud Eclipse, probably the softest shoe that they make right now. This shoe is actually incredibly soft. I really, really like it a lot. You've got this huge amount of foam in the midsole that, of course, you can see through. That's sort of the main thing about On sneakers. You can see through it. I think it's called Cloud Tech. And then you've got my absolute favorite pair, the On Cloud Tilt. Now, I wear this pair all the time. This is a pair that I literally keep next to the door, and I wear more than a lot of other shoes in my collection. There's a couple reasons for that. 1, it's very comfortable. 2, I think it looks pretty good. And 3, it's almost a slip-on. So it's super easy to throw on. If I don't want to throw on my Birkenstocks or my slides or something like that, and I actually want to wear a pair of shoes when I'm going to like the grocery store or something, and I don't want to have to like throw on a pair of shoes that I have to lace, I'll throw these on because their laces are kind of bungee laces and they create a slip-on sort of feel. So very comfortable and very good looking. If you guys haven't tried out On, this is not sponsored, by the way. Check them out. They make some really cool shoes. Now they're all like performance running shoes, but if that's the vibe that you're going for, they're dope. And they're good running sneakers. So seriously, check them out. Speaking of running sneakers, the next brand is a running brand from Japan called Mizuno. And the first pair is another pair of marathon style sneakers. This is the Mizuno Neo Vista. Definitely a soft, very comfortable shoe, but obviously made for running races. It does have a shank plate that I don't think is carbon fiber, but it is very stiff and offers some nice spring in your step. After that, we've got the Mizuno Wave Prophecy. I think their whole deal is the wave plate. Actually, this is called the wave plate. That's what it's called. So this is the Wave Prophecy. It features some sort of wave plate in there. It's pretty wild looking. I like that you can see through it, kind of like the Ons. But it's definitely a more retro runner vibe, and I think people might really like that. And then finally, you've got the Wave Rider 10. This is more of like an everyday lifestyle sneaker. It was a running sneaker at one point. It does feature the wave plate right there in the heel, which is sort of like a stiff plate. Now, this is kind of like every Japanese running sneaker brand. Asics, Mizuno. I guess New Balance is not a Japanese running sneaker brand, but a lot of these brands that made running sneakers in like the 80s, 90s, and 2000s, they're all kind of coming back as lifestyle sneakers, at least the ones that are a little bit older like this pair, because people really like this aesthetic right now. So pairs like this, they're not going to have the newest tech, they're not going to feel the best underfoot. I mean, they still feel good, but not as good as something like this, but they are great for casual lifestyle wear. And so running sneakers from decades ago are getting like a second life, which is kind of crazy. Next up, we've got Reebok. We've got 3 different pairs. I could have sworn I had more pairs, but apparently I don't. The first pair is the Allen Iverson Question Mids. This is a 2-way colorway. The right shoe is blue, the left shoe is red. Got this at an Allen Iverson event that he was actually at. Huge shout out to Allen Iverson, the greatest Sixer of all time. As a Sixers fan, you know this shoe is really cool. I've worn it to a bunch of Sixers games. Next up, we've got the V-Box. This is actually a friends and family sample pair. Can you see the sample tag in there? I don't know if you can see it right there. This is a friends and family sample pair sent to me by Gary V's team. This is a Gary V or a V friend pair of sneakers, which is pretty cool. I actually wore it to the Vayner office when I went to go visit Gary. Very cool pair of shoes and pretty comfortable. And then finally, we've got a pair of shoes that I wear all the time. Not at all. This is a size 22 and it's only one shoe. We've got the Shaq Reebok, signed by Shaq for his Hall of Fame induction. I got this years ago as part of a video that I did about, I think I was unboxing like sports stuff or autographed sports stuff from Pristine Auctions. And this is one of the things that they sent, which is super cool. Very large, very cool pair of sneakers. I absolutely love it. I keep it in my studio. I mean, it's just cool. Like, you can't really wear it. There's only one of them. I don't have a right shoe. I just have a left shoe. Oh, and of course, you got the pump on the top. So if you ever wanted to pump it up, you can. Continuing on with the Shaq theme, we've got another one of Shaq's shoes. This is the Shaq Devastator. Now, this is actually not a Reebok. This is an actual Shaq branded shoe that I think you can get from Kohl's. Now, this was sent to me from somebody. I don't know who, I don't know where, and I don't know how they got my information, but shout out to them. Thank you so much for this. Next up, we've got Jaylen Brown's 741 Performance. This is a brand new pair of basketball sneakers from, unfortunately, championship winning Jaylen Brown. I mean, congrats to him. I'm happy for him. I just wish he didn't win on the Celtics, but hey, it is what it is. This shoe's actually pretty cool. I like it a lot. I have yet to play basketball in it, but it is a dope pair of sneakers. After that, we've got another pair of shoes, which is actually from another basketball athlete who started his own brand, or NBA player who started his own brand, and that, of course, is Jonathan Isaac. This is the Judah 1, the Judah 1 Low. This is a Christian-themed shoe, or I guess a biblically-themed shoe, which is pretty cool. I like it a lot. I have yet to play in these as well, but it's got a Bible verse in the back. This colorway, I think, says, this colorway has Romans 8:31. I think each colorway has a different Bible verse in the back. And I think the actual brand is called Unitas. I forgot about that, but the actual brand is Unitas. Is that, there we go. And then the final pair doesn't look like any of the other basketball sneakers, and it's not a basketball sneaker, but it is from Way of Wade, which is a basketball brand, obviously started by Dwayne Wade, and is, I think, created by not Anta. Li Ning? Is it Li Ning? Shoot, I should know this. Well, it's his own brand within one of those bigger Chinese brands. This is a 3D printed pair of shoes. It's kind of like a clog, and it's called the Rock or something like that. The Moon Rock is what it's called. And it's a, as far as 3D printed shoes go, there's a lot of really great ones. This one, I hate to say it, not the best. Not the best. Now, it looks wild, and I think if you want like a crazy wild looking pair of shoes, great, but it's somewhat uncomfortable. It does not flex at all. It's weird design, and then there's like this printing on the side, or I guess some spray painting on the side that kind of fills in this text that you should be able to read, but I have no idea what it says. But Dwayne Wade decided to drop a very experimental, I'm sure he didn't have anything to do with this, but the brand decided to drop a very experimental pair of 3D printed shoes, and they are only aight. Next up, we've got the creator brands. Now, there's a lot of creators who create a lot of different pairs of sneakers. I'm one of them, and I think creator brands are really exciting because it's people who haven't really traditionally been in the industry, at least not from a production side of things, but are creating something that's really cool that speaks to their audience. So I love creator brands. I think they're super cool. If you're a creator and you have a brand, let me know. I'd love to check them out. I won't do like a whole video on them, but maybe I'll feature them in my sneaker collection or I'll rock them. With that being said, the first one is, I kind of started off on the wrong foot because this is not really a creator brand. This is called Victory, but this is a brand that promotes a lot with creators. This is the Victory Recovery Clog. I wear this shoe all the time. It's got a carbon fiber shank in there, super, super soft on foot, and it's great for just recovery days when you have a hard day at the gym, which I don't usually have as I'm not really a gym goer, but when I do go to the gym, I rock those. I also just rock those around the house. Next up, we got my Vessies. Now, I've actually been sponsored by Vessi multiple times, and what's interesting about this is that they do sponsor a lot of different creators, and I was actually very hesitant to work with them initially because, it's a sneaker brand that I wasn't wearing at the time. So I bought a pair to review on my own without talking to them. They'd already reached out to me and I said no. So I tried them out, and they're actually great. They're really good waterproof shoes. And then like 2 years later, they reached out again, and I was like, listen, I tried out your shoes. I really like them. I'll definitely work with you guys. I don't remember any of the names of them, but they're actually really nice. This is, I believe, the Court something. I wear it a lot. It's waterproof. It's awesome. Great pair of shoes. And then this is their more sporty style. Again, I don't remember the name. I really should. But fire pair of shoes. Oh, this is a Tidal sneaker, and this one is the Soho. There's more pairs. Like, I've got winter boots and all sorts of stuff, but they're somewhere in my house, and I'll break them out in the winter, I'm sure. Next up, we've got Kizzo. This is one of the first Kizzo pairs. I believe their silhouettes have changed now. This is a pair that they sent me like a year or two ago, or maybe even longer than that. Fire pair of shoes. I love the suede used on this sneaker. The yellow is very clean. You've got the rose detail there. Very cool pair of shoes. Next up is a pair from Bobby Souls. Shout out to Bobby Souls. I really like his stuff. He's huge on TikTok. Really big on YouTube. You guys should definitely check him out if you haven't yet. Same thing with Kizzo, obviously. But a really cool pair of shoes. You've got the Flaming Heart. I like the materials a lot. And actually, while I'm talking about creators, I just started a podcast where I talk to creators. If you guys are interested in that at all, it's called the Shoes Off Podcast. I'll link it in the description below. And if there's any creators that you guys would like to see on the podcast and learn their story, let me know in the comment section down below. I'll do my best to get them on the podcast. So love to know your thoughts on that. But again, seriously, check it out. It's a passion project of mine. I'm having a lot of fun. There's like 6 episodes out now, or 4 or 5. I don't know how many episodes. I think there's 6. We just had Tom Stefanik on there. We had Culture Kicks, Charlie, Winona Kicks. We had DJ Sneakerhead. A lot of really cool people. So seriously, check it out. Next up, we've got some pairs from No Two Ways. I actually have a couple pairs of these shoes, but I keep a lot of them at the apothecary office and forgot to bring them back. So I've got 2 pairs that they sent me a little while ago. This is the Mocha colorway. I don't remember the name of the silhouette, but it's like their main silhouette. Very, very clean pair of shoes. And this is the trail version. Also very cool, very clean. I like it a lot. I really like No Two Ways. They're absolutely killing it. So this brand was actually co-founded by a really cool industrial designer and also YouTuber Calix. Really, really cool pair of shoes and honestly great quality. Seriously, check them out. Next up, we've got the Culture Kicks. Again, Chase was on the podcast, so check that out. This is the first pair. This is a pair that I don't believe they make anymore, but they gave me a pair which is sick. I actually wear this pair a decent amount. I wore this on the podcast as well. And they've got the Culture Gliders, which is their main pair. This is the brown pair. I think there's like a black one, a red one, all sorts of different colorways, but very comfortable on foot. Then we move on over to Adams, which is a brand that has worked with MKBHD. This is the Adams Model 0. This is sort of their basic everyday model. And then of course, we've got the MKBHD 251 lows. 251 is the time of his first video, 2 minutes and 51 seconds. Shout out to MKBHD for sending these over. I appreciate it. Super cool pair of shoes. Very comfortable too, surprisingly. Adam's shoes, very, very comfortable. Even though the midsole just looks like an Air Jordan 1 midsole, it's actually surprisingly soft. This one's actually slightly different than this one. But this one's super, super foamy. This one's more, a little bit stiffer, but I do think there is some nice foam inside the rubber. Very cool pair of shoes. Again, let me know which people you want on the podcast and I will try and make it happen, guys. Seriously. Next up is a pair that I forgot that I have, so we're throwing it in right here. This is the Mosh Centralia Runner. This is a fire pair of shoes by Customizer Mosh. I actually wore this pair a bunch and then literally lost it. And then I was going through all my sneakers and I found it just now. So shout out to Mosh. It's a fire pair of shoes. Obviously I've worn it a bunch because of all the dirt on there and the fact that it's kind of wearing down, but incredibly clean. For his first sneaker, at least I think it's his first sneaker, his first signature sneaker, he killed it. And he's still killing it to this day. He's got like the Mosh, the 2s or maybe the 3s. I don't know where he's at now, but in terms of sneaker numbers. But this shoe is fire and the quality is ridiculous. So these are probably my biggest shoes. At least a majority of them. First off, we've got some shoes created by the one and only Factory Lab. Shout out to Omar Bailey for these pairs. I really appreciate it. We've got the NLE Choppa Duck Boots right here, which are absolutely wild. They kind of remind me of like a Tonka truck or something, but I really, really like them a lot. Kind of difficult to pull off because I'm not the most vibey person and I'm not NLE Choppa and he's got swag that I just could never dream of having. So unfortunately, this is not a daily wear for me, but I do throw it on from time to time. Then we've got the other duck boot. This one is a little bit easier to rock because it's all black. This is the black NLE Choppa duck boot with the gum outsole. Very cool pair of shoes. And seriously, Factory Lab is doing some really, really cool stuff. Check them out if you haven't yet. We've got the Factory Lab Mock, the other pair of shoes. They've actually sent me a lot of pairs of shoes, but these are the 3 that I have in my house. Again, a lot of it ends up at Apothecary or in my closet somewhere and I can't find it. So I think I've had a couple colorways of these and the Night Runners as well. But this is a very cool pair of shoes, very easy to rock, very comfy, and very cool looking. I like it a lot. Again, Factory Lab, shout out to them. Next up, we've got the John Geigers. We've got the John Geiger 002s. This is the Martell collaboration. Got this a couple years back, I think, while I was working with Martell, and I actually got a chance to sit down with John Geiger and talk to him about his collaboration and some of the stuff he was doing, which is really cool. After that, we've got the John Geiger 004s. He's just doing some amazing things with this shoe. I really love the way that it looks. I think this colorway actually glows in the dark, which is crazy. Unfortunately, it's a size 10. The size 9 sold out before I could get to them, but I still can rock it. You know, I haven't really thrown it on too much because I have too many pairs of sneakers, but it is gonna go in the rotation. This is a pair that's definitely gonna make it up on the wall. So shout out to John Geiger. Now, next up, we've got a pair of shoes that looks like a pair of Dunks, but this is actually a custom pair of shoes by the Remade. It's a collaboration with the Remade and Nick the Real. I actually got this right after SneakerCon Shanghai because I got a chance to meet both of them. And they sent it over to me, so I really appreciate it. The quality on this is like 10 times better than a pair of Nike Dunks. It's just crazy quality. I mean, look at the suede, the leathers. It's like real suedes and leathers, and then the colorways alternate, or the colors alternate depending on which side of the pair. I think this one, the overlays are red, and then the other one, the overlays are white. Very, very cool pair of shoes. After that, we got a pair of Tims. Now, I have a couple pairs of Tims, but this one's special because this is a staple collaboration. I wear this pair more than all my other Tims. One, because it's a mid-top, and two, because it's awesome. And then finally, I'm sure you guys all recognize this. This is the big red boot, which is actually kind of turning white over time. I don't know why. Maybe the rubber that they use, the material. This is one of the most iconic pieces of footwear of the last like 5 years. Like this completely just blew the industry up. Mischief absolutely did their thing with this pair of shoes. It is a wild pair of shoes that there's just no way I'd wear this probably ever again, but it's cool to have in the collection. Following that up, we've got Crocs. Now, of course, you can't have a Crocs collection without the standard Crocs Classic Clog in black. Very wearable, very comfortable pair of shoes. After that, we've got the Bodega All-Terrain collaboration. Super wild pair of Crocs. It's got like a stash pocket on the top. You can pop off this area here and show the, I guess, is it Realtree candle underneath? But I have not yet worn this pair just because I think it's a little bit too big. It's a size 9, and Crocs, I tend to go down to a size 8 because they fit big. After that, we've got these Salehi Bembury's, the original Pollex Crocs. This one, again, is a size 9, but I made it work for these because this pair is just so crazy fire. Not that this one isn't, but this pair is just like, at the time that these released, this was like on another level, so I wore these a bunch. I haven't worn them as much recently, but I do still really like them. Of course, you've got the Salehi Bembury Crocs Juniper. This is the first or second Crocs sneaker. I think it might actually be the first Crocs sneaker. They released a sneaker recently, but this is like the very first one, or one of the first ones. I'm actually not too brushed up on my Crocs history. Pretty cool looking pair of shoes, very heavy, cool pair of shoes nonetheless, and also pretty comfortable. And then of course, you've got the KFC Crocs, which smell like KFC, or I guess cereal. They tried to scent the chicken drumstick on the shoe like chicken. Didn't work though, it smells like cereal. And now I can't get it out of the, oh, I have to do this. Yeah, these guys are nuts. I think this is more of a collector's item than anything. It's not something that I'd wear, but it's cool to have, especially in this special packaging. So next I've got a couple different brands that I just didn't have a lot of pairs of, so I wanted to kind of knock through them pretty quick. The first one is of course Birkenstock. I've got the Birkenstock Bostons. This is a pair of shoes that I wear all the time. People don't think that mules are shoes, but they literally are actually shoes. So this is a pair of shoes. And once it molds to your foot, it just feels incredible. It's not like super soft, but it kind of feels like something that's specifically made for your foot. It's just cradling your foot all the time. It's awesome. Next up, we've got the Under Armours. These are Under Armour, I have no idea, but they're custom Under Armours that are actually designed to be like a special edition for Joel Embiid. It's got a bit of a Sixers jersey right there. Unfortunately, Joel Embiid might not play basketball for the next year. I don't know what to think. And I just, like, the Sixers are having trouble tanking, so it's like, what even happened last year? We thought we were going to win a championship, and this year it's like we're trying to somehow be the worst, and we can't even do that, right? I do love the Sixers, though. Shout out to the Sixers. Shout out to Daryl Morey. He put a great team together on paper. It just didn't pan out. Next up, we've got Puma. These are the Puma Nitros. They are a very thick pair of shoes, pretty comfortable underfoot, not as soft or as cushy as the Brooks that I talked about earlier, but they look really cool. And after that, we've got a Friends and Family, or I guess a sample pair of MCM Pumas. This is a collab. This is the Puma Cell Endura. This is a collab that just never released, and it's got actual MCM leather on the sides. It's got like a gold tag right there on the top, or tongue label or something like that. Very, very cool pair of shoes. I'd never wear these just because of, I've tried them on, but I never wear these just because I don't know when I could wear these, and like I don't want to ruin them, so I'm gonna keep them on ice. And then finally, we've got my one and only pair of Salomons. I think I did have a couple other pairs. I don't have them anymore. This is the Salomon XT6, or Solomon. I don't know how to say it. I think it's Solomon. It could be Salomon. If you guys know, let me know in the comments. But this pair of shoes is actually crazy fire. It's comfortable, it's good looking. They absolutely knocked it out of the park with this pair. I don't think it's like a super new pair either. I think it just became really trendy recently, and I'm all about it. I think it's a very clean, very wearable pair of shoes that I definitely recommend checking out. Kind of expensive, but good overall. Another brand that I'm really into right now is Zellerfeld. They create fully 3D printed pairs of shoes, and they actually feel amazing on foot. If you haven't tried a pair of Zellerfelds, you've got to. There's actually a few more pairs on the list, and they're pretty cool, so stay tuned for those. But these ones don't really have specific brands. I guess they all are their own sort of brand, but they're not like big, huge, like Nikes or anything like that. Let's start things off with the Mars Marshmallows, I think, or the Mellows, or the Mars Mellows. I don't know the exact name of the shoe, but it is a wild pair of shoes, and I wore it on my trip to Vegas, and it was absolutely a head turner. No question about that. Next up, we've got the Hezzies. Shout out to Joey Camus, I believe, who designed these. Really, really cool pair of shoes. Very, very comfortable. Surprisingly so, like I said, 3D printed shoes, actually really comfortable. You've got Jeff Staples' latest shoe. We've actually had multiple pairs of Staple collabs on this list. This is the Jeff Staples Zellerfeld that I think just dropped at ComplexCon China, or ComplexCon Chinese is what I think it's actually called, over the last couple weeks. Pretty wild looking pair of shoes. And then we've got this final pair, which is sort of a pair of slides, but it's an AI designed pair of slides, which is something I've never actually seen before. So really cool pair of slides, and it feels pretty nice on foot. I do really like the comfort underfoot. It's very, very soft. However, I think there's like some areas that just don't really fit my foot perfectly, although that's because this pair was sent to me by Zellerfeld. They actually scan your feet and create a pair of shoes for you to exactly match your foot. The reason that this one doesn't exactly match my foot is because it wasn't actually based on my foot scan, because it's just a sample. So huge shout out to Zellerfeld for sending me these pairs and a bunch of other pairs, which we'll show some of them later on in the video, and some of them, like I said, are somewhere around my house or around the apothecary office. A lot of shoes get lost, man, and I would try and find all of them, but it would take all day, so I'm not going to. You guys get the gist. I've currently only got 2 pairs of Vans in my collection at the moment, which is kind of wild. I would have thought I had a lot more, but apparently I only have 2 right now. We've got the Vans Old Schools and actually the Vans New Schools. And the difference here is obviously chunk. The Old Schools are not as chunky, and the New Schools are incredibly chunky. They're about as chunky as it gets, and I actually really dig these. I didn't think I was gonna like these that much, but the more that I wore them, the more I'm like, these are fire. So check out the New Schools and the Old Schools, both great pairs of sneakers. After that, we've got some pairs of sneakers that I designed personally. We've got the Planters Peanuts VaynerMedia Seth collaboration. I think it's called the Peanut Force 1 or the Air Force Peanut, Mr. Peanut 1. I don't remember what the name was that they gave to this shoe, but this was the first pair of shoes I ever designed that actually got made and sold. Like, you can find pairs of these on eBay right now. I don't know what they're going for, but the material quality on this is ridiculous. I think these were actually handmade in Philly. Crunch Force 1s, that's what they're called. But let me tell you, this shoe definitely showed me sort of what it's like to be on the other end of the sneaker design world. Like, I designed a lot of products in my past, but never a pair of sneakers, and this one let me know that not everyone loves your products, and a lot of people will let you know through Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube, and they let you know a lot through comments. Next up, we've got one of the colorways from my signature sneaker, the Seth Fowler Origins, or the Seth Fowler We Are Underdogs. This pair of shoes came in a couple different colorways. This particular one is a collaboration with Jason Negrito Diaz, awesome dude who now works for Sia Collective, and he creates amazing pairs of sneakers. Now, I've actually got a whole story on my We Are Underdogs sneakers and collaboration. This is actually the next pair that I made that actually never released. Well, it should have released, but it never actually did. And if you guys want to learn that whole story, check out my last year's sneaker collection video. I go in depth. Basically what happened, to give you guys a TLDR, I sold a bunch of pairs of these, and then towards the end of the run, I guess the company went bankrupt and just didn't ship pairs to people. So there was like 40 pairs that just never got shipped out for the final run of this sneaker, and they just kind of went dark. They disappeared out of nowhere, and so rather than just telling people sorry, I just ended up paying them back, because I was like, listen, it's not really right for you to support me by buying my sneaker and then just kind of get screwed. So I did that. The whole story, again, is in my previous sneaker collection video. Check it out if you're interested at all. But kind of a bummer, because I thought I really liked the company, and I thought I really liked the guy who started the company, but he kind of ended up, causing me some problems, and a couple other people some problems. So, too bad, but at least I was able to design my own shoe, and I still really like the way it came out. Now we finally get into one of the bigger brands, and a brand that I have a lot of pairs of, way more than I actually thought that I did. In my head, I only have like 5 of these pairs, but I actually have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, at least 14 pairs, and that's not counting the ones that I'm not sure if I lost or not. But why don't we start going down this list of New Balances with a pair of basketball sneakers. This is the Hezi 2 Low. This is actually the ALD collaboration. Now, the Hezi 2 Low is Tyrese Maxey's sort of signature shoe. He doesn't actually have a specific signature shoe, but this probably would be it if you had to name one or label one. And I think he probably will get his own in the future, but for right now, it's the Hezi 2 Low. And this ALD collaboration is one that I didn't even know dropped. I actually bought it for a meet and greet that I was supposed to do with Tyrese Maxey, and then he got injured, and unfortunately, I don't think it's happening anymore. But I still love Tyrese Maxey. He's still a great guy, and hopefully he's recovering well. Next up, we've got the New Balance Fuel Cell Rebel V4. For a long time, this was the most comfortable pair of sneakers in my collection until New Balance released some more pairs of sneakers, which are probably a little bit more comfortable, or definitely are a little bit more comfortable. This pair is a really cool pair of running sneakers that's actually great for everyday running, and I use it as my main running sneaker at the moment. Very comfortable, very wearable, very lightweight, and it looks good too, so that's a plus. Next up, we've got the New Balance 1080 V14s. This is probably my second most worn running sneaker. Incredibly comfortable, probably a bit more cushioned than the Fuel Cell Rebel V4s, but definitely a cool looking pair of shoes that I've put a lot of miles into, both for casual wear and for running. I wore this pair to Disney World a couple months ago, and it just got a huge amount of wear there. Next up, we've got the New Balance Exmore V5, the chunkiest cushion on the block. This shoe has so much cushion in the midsole, it's just unnecessary. It's the softest shoe I've ever put on my feet, and it may not be good for you. Like, it might actually be too much cushion. It also gives you like 2 inches of height. So if you're looking for 2 inches of height and you want the softest cushion out there, this is a shoe to go for. After that, we've got the newish New Balance 740, I believe V2. It could just be the 740, but I think this is the second version of the shoe. This just re-released. This is sort of the, I would say, the competition or the competitor to the Asics Gel 1130s. This shoe, I think, retails for like 100 or 90 bucks or something like that. It's a really great looking pair of shoes. It's very comfortable on foot. It's nothing crazy, it's nothing wild, but it looks good, and that's what's important. After that, we've got the New Balance 9060s, one of the most popular pairs of sneakers that New Balance makes, which is wild. I never would have guessed that. It's sort of a mashup of old school and new school, and I really like the way that it looks, and it's one of my wife's personal favorite pairs. Continuing on, we've got the New Balance 990 V6, one of New Balance's sort of mainline sneakers that's incredibly popular and is one of their higher quality shoes. I think this shoe retails for like $200 on the dot or $199, and the materials used on this shoe are solid. And the comfort on this shoe is very, very good. It started life as a running sneaker, at least in the 991s and 992s and 993s. As it progressed to the later versions, it became more of a lifestyle sneaker. Although you can still run in this shoe, but I would mainly wear this casually. This pair I actually forgot about. I actually just grabbed it from a box out in the living room. This is the New Balance 530. This is actually the most popular pair of lifestyle New Balances, according to people who work at New Balance, at least in the retail stores. This pair, I think, retails for like $120 or something. It's not a crazy expensive pair of shoes, and it looks good, and it's comfortable. Now, I understand that this definitely has like dad shoe vibes or cookout shoe vibes, but apparently that's what people are going for right now. So very popular shoe, and one that it's not my favorite pair of New Balances, but I really don't mind it. After that, we've got the New Balance 9060s. This is a Foot Locker exclusive colorway, and I don't remember what the name of this colorway is, but it's kind of wild, very brightly colored. You've got aquas and yellows and blues. Clean pair of shoes, but obviously I have yet to wear it. After that, we've got the New Balance ALD 1906Rs. This is one of my favorite pairs in my collection. This pair is super, super clean. I love ALD's collaboration with New Balance, and this is probably my favorite pair that they have done so far. For a while, it was the 550s, but after these dropped, I'm like, nah, it's this. And I rock it all the time. Seriously, all the time. Next up, we've got the New Balance collaboration with the Australian brand Up There. This is the New Balance 860 V2. Shout out to Monsieur Banana for sending this pair over my way. Really appreciate it. But Up There dropped a fire pair of sneakers. It comes with this really interesting sheath that you can actually remove by just unlacing it. But the colorway is clean. The blues, the greens, the pinks, they all go together really well. And it's not a colorway that you see too often on sneakers. So love this shoe. Very wearable. Of course, you can't forget the Action Bronson 1906Rs. Another pair of shoes that I did not expect to like as much as I do. This pair is incredibly clean. It's just so different. Like the pinks and the oranges. I think this is the Rosewater colorway. It's not a colorway that I would expect to like this much, but seriously, I don't know how to say it without saying something I've already said. Like, it's out there, it's colorful. But seriously, those are the things that make me really like this shoe, and it's crazy comfortable. So that's another big plus, but I guess most pairs of New Balances are. So, of course, we've got some Salehis. I believe this is the first or one of the first New Balance collaborations that he did. This is the 2002R in this really clean orange and yellow colorway. I really like it a lot. I love the blue hit on the New Balance logo, and of course I love the Salehi fingerprint detail on the heel of the shoe, which is actually literally his signature. Like, it's on his Crocs, it's on his New Balances. He's got a lot of other collaborations, but it's on those as well. Very cool detail, and a shoe that I really love to throw on. The quality on this shoe is ridiculous, and the colorway is very different. Speaking of Salehis, I've got a pair that I literally just picked up. This is the New Balance 991 V2. This is the brand new Salehi collaboration. It's made in the UK, so it's significantly more expensive. I think retail was like $275, which was a lot. But the quality is probably one of the best pairs. If not, it's probably better than these, actually. The quality is ridiculous. The colorway is super cool. The purple, you've got a couple different lace options if you want to switch it out, but the purple suede is just next level. Again, another colorway that you don't see a lot of on sneakers, like sort of a washed out purple. After that, we've got the Joe Freshgoods 992s. This is the Aged Well colorway. This just released. This is to commemorate his 5th anniversary collaborating with New Balance, and it's supposed to be a washed out colorway of a shoe we're about to talk about. But it's a really clean salmon pink color, and I've worn it a bunch. Very, very comfortable, and again, man, I say that about all my New Balances. Like, these colorways are different. They might not be as colorful as some of my Nike sneakers, like specifically the Dunks. The colors that they use are not the same colors that Nike uses. Nike uses a lot of like saturated reds and blues, but New Balance uses like these really interesting different tones that you just don't see on other brands. So shout out to New Balance for thinking outside the box. Very cool pair of shoes. And then finally, my favorite pair of New Balances of all time. Maybe it's because of the hype. Maybe it's because I've worn this pair a bunch. I don't know. But either way, it's the Joe Freshgoods New Balance 992's Anatomy of Heart is the name of the collaboration. Also, I think it was part of his like brand or line called Don't Be Mad. You've got the DBM on the top. The materials on this shoe are ridiculous. This shoe is probably one of the most limited pairs of shoes in my entire collection. I think there was like a couple hundred of these made, and that's why the resale is like in the 3,000s. It's nuts. But the inspiration behind this shoe, the Anatomy of a Heart, you can really see that with the color blocking and with the paneling on the upper of the shoe. I love that it comes with a set of blue laces to kind of give you the red blood and the blue blood. It's a really great pair of shoes. It's really, really clean, really wearable, and it's very different. Like, it's one of those shoes that you just don't see that often, at least colorways like this. You just don't see a lot of like this sort of washed out red color, and I love it. Now, to be fair, the aged well colorway, you know, it doesn't exactly look like an aged version of this pair, maybe like very sun-bleached version of this pair, but either way, I do like the idea of this collaboration being a pair that you've worn for years and years and years that used to be this pair. I think that's a really cool concept, but again, one of my favorite pairs in my collection and really one of my most limited pairs in my collection. Also, there's probably like 10 pairs of sneakers that are no questions that are going on my wall, like will never leave the collection, at least from the pairs that don't have like special meanings behind them, and this is absolutely one of those. This pair will never leave the collection. I don't know, man, it's my favorite pair of New Balances. I can't let it go. But now we move on to our Yeezys, and these are actually the only pairs of Yeezys that I still have in my collection. I've kind of downsized a little bit in every aspect of my collection, but specifically in Yeezys. The first pair that we have are the Pods, the Yeezy Pods. I was about to call them sock shoes, but the Yeezy Pods. They are literally sock shoes. And they got me some of the best views I've ever gotten on a sneaker review, so shout out to Kanye West for that. They're also a really interesting concept. You've got Yeezy Slides. I forget what the name of this colorway is, but shout out to Takeout NY for sending me this pair. I've had like 7 different pairs of Yeezy Slides. The last 2 pairs that I had in last year's video both got destroyed over the last year because I wore them completely out. So I need to get some more pairs of Yeezy Slides. Next up, we've got the Foam Runners, the Ararats, the OGs. My favorite pair of Foam Runners by far, and the only pair I still have, even though I love this silhouette. Then we've got the Yeezy 700s, the Wave Runner colorway, the OG colorway. This is the one that I pre-ordered. I'm sure I say that every year, but this is the one that I've had since like what year was it? 2015, 2014, 2017? Whatever year these first came out, that's when I got these. And then finally, we've got the 3M Yeezy Boost 350 V2s in the Beluga colorway, the V2 version of the Belugas, because it is the 3M colorway. This one was actually sent to me by the brand, which is pretty cool. I don't think I was allowed to say that at the time, but yeah, pretty cool. Now these are more of my mainline Adidas sneakers. I have a lot of like super limited edition Adidas pairs and samples, which we will get into next, but these are the main, you could call them GRs. Not all of them are like totally GRs, but they're more common than some of the pairs that we'll get into. Starting things off, we've got the AE1s in the Stormtrooper colorway, or I guess the Best of Adi colorway, Best of Addy colorway. I really like this white and black look. It's one of my favorite pairs of the AE1s. I love this shoe too. I think it's a fire pair of sneakers. Next, we've got the Harden Volume 9s in this OG metallic silver colorway. I've yet to wear these. I don't know if I'm keeping these, but I do like them a lot. I love the aesthetics of them. We've of course got the 10th anniversary Adidas Ultra Boost 1.0. This just released for the 10th anniversary because obviously these first released back in 2015. One of the most iconic sneakers of all time, and a pair that I never had the OG colorway of. Like I never had the original release of this shoe, and now I have the 10th anniversary version, which I really like. After that, we've got the Adidas Superstars with these gold laces. This actually came in this like crazy box. It had like a TV with a see-through screen. I actually still have it back there, but it's really buried under some stuff. But either way, we've got the Superstars with the gold accent. Next up, we've got the OG Sambas. Not the OG, I mean, there's been like millions of versions of Sambas, but this is like the most popular standard colorway, the white and the black with the I guess it's gum or like darker gum colorway on the outsole. Very narrow shoe. One thing that people don't seem to think about when they buy these, if you have wider feet, it might not be the vibe for you, but I do really like this sneaker. Then you've got the West NYC Adidas Gazelles in like this purple, it's not really velvet, it's kind of like a purple fabric. I don't know what it is. I really don't know what it is. It's furry though, but it's cool. You've got these gold accents. It came in this really cool wooden box. Let me grab it really quick. It's actually pretty sick. This is it. This dope wooden box with like these locks on the front. This is actually on display in my studio if you ever come to visit, which don't because it's my house. After that, we've got the Bad Bunny Adidas Gazelles. This is the, what's the name of this colorway? The Benito colorway. This is like the white and black colorway of the shoe, which I really like a lot. I actually wear this the most out of the two. The other colorway, of course, is the San Juan colorway. Comes in like this really nice bright blue. This is definitely the more unique option, for sure. But I do think out of the two colorways, the black and the white and the San Juan, the black and the white's definitely more wearable. Next up, we've got the Adidas Adizero Evo SL, I think is the name. This is like one of their most popular running sneakers right now. I have yet to run in it, but I've had it for the last couple weeks, and it's not as soft as I was expecting. I see a bunch of people reviewing the shoe, and they're like, it's so soft underfoot. And it is. It's not bad, but it's not as soft as I was kind of hoping it to be. So maybe that's my own fault for kind of letting myself get let down, but it's still a cool shoe. I think it's a good looking shoe. I think it's probably great for running, but I don't know. I haven't experienced a sort of joyful, super soft comfort underfoot that everyone else seems to be having. Maybe it's just me. Next up, we've got the 3D printed Adidas, the Climacool 3Ds. That's what these are called, I think. I don't know. I just know they're the 3D printed Climacools. So they could be called something different. But these are sick. I really like these a lot. Now, I prefer Zellerfeld 3D printed shoes, to be honest, but these are probably the best non-Zellerfeld 3D printed shoes that I've seen so far from a big major brand like Adidas. The shoe is a really cool looking aesthetic. It feels decent on foot. It's relatively soft and flexible, but it is kind of a pain in the butt to get on, as a lot of 3D printed shoes are that have like ankle collars, just because it's a material that kind of grips to your socks, so it's kind of hard to slide your feet in there, especially if you are wearing socks. You kind of need to though, because it would really rub your foot if you didn't wear socks. Super, super interesting shoe. One that I really should rock more, I'll be honest. I totally forgot the Adidas Sarukus. Sorry about that. This is probably the most comfortable pair of Adidas sneakers that I own. It is a wild looking pair for sure, and it's got this wild like rocker shape, but super comfortable underfoot. The swirl foam is super soft, and hopefully they use this foam in other Adidas models, because I'd be really excited to check those out. All right, with all of the GR Adidas out of the way, let's get into the more limited stuff. So this is my pretty large Adidas Friends and Family and sample collection. I didn't buy any of these. They were only sent to me because I think you can only get sent these. You can't actually buy them unless you buy them on the resale market. So huge thank you to Adidas for all the love you've been showing me. Of course, there's some other brands that we'll talk about later that also sent me pairs. But starting things off, we've got the sample Adidas NMD in the triple black colorway. Now I know there is a name for this particular one, but I forget what it is. The core black, core black, core black. I think there was like a special name for this collection, but I don't remember what that is. Very cool pair of shoes. Now with a lot of these samples, I'm not gonna wear them because they're so limited and so special, and they also don't count towards my 84 sneaker wall, just because this is for shoes that I'm actually gonna wear. These are like more collector's items, things that I'll keep in box or keep on a shelf somewhere, so I'm not gonna count them towards 84 sneakers on the wall. So all of these, even though I'm never gonna wear them, or maybe some of them I have worn, they're not gonna count towards that. So if you're wondering why I'm not getting rid of any of these, even though they're not on the wall, that's why. Next up, we've got the Arizona, what are these called? The Young Ones. This is a Young One sample, I believe. They actually sent me a bunch of the Arizonas, but I ended up giving a lot of pairs away to friends because I just never wore them. This particular colorway was my favorite from the Adidas Arizona collection. I kind of wish they'd do another collection because I actually really dug this collection, especially with some of the newer silhouettes, like maybe not even newer silhouettes, maybe like gazelles. That would be a really cool collab. But either way, very, very cool shoe, very interesting colorway, and as an Arizona fan, I was all about it. I was all about it. Next up, we've got the Human Race. I believe these are the NMD S1s, and I think they are not actually Friends and Family. I think these are a sample. Yeah, they've got sample tags. I wore these because I got these months before they actually came out, and they're interesting. They're definitely interesting. This whole back half is actually painted. Like, this has literally been masked off with tape, and then someone painted it. And you can see from like the overspray and like the edges where the tape was. So it's a really interesting shoe. I think that's how the original release was too. I don't think that's just special to the sample pair. You can even see where someone like drew a line where you're supposed to paint to. That's kind of wild. But I wore this like 2 or 3 times, and then I was like, you know what? I probably shouldn't be wearing this. 1, because it's not very comfortable because of the material, and 2, because it's a pretty wild sample. So decided to put this back on ice, even though it's definitely been rocked. Next up, we've got a look-see sample of an Adidas Pharrell colorway in this really nice tan, red, and cream. Even the Boost is a cream color, which is pretty rad. I don't know the name of this colorway. As you can see, I've got like 5 of them. Adidas just keeps sending them to me, or they used to. Huge thank you to Adidas for that. But yeah, this is a look-see sample from 2020, and I'm size 9, which is cool, so I'm sample size. So it's very possible that this is a legit look-see sample and not just like a special influencer package. I'm not sure, because I've seen other influencers get these, but I don't know if they were a different size, so who knows. But we've got next up the Extra Eye colorway, I think. Another look-see sample, same sort of deal. Wild looking pair of shoes. Unfortunately, there's no resale value on Pharrell's anymore. Not that that matters, because I'm not going to sell these, especially because they are samples. Pharrell hype just died out. I think it's just because they overproduced them, to be honest. After that, we've got the NERDs. Another, I don't think this is a look-see sample. It's just a, this came in a promo package, so this is just a promo sample. But it came in this like crazy box. I have it around here somewhere. Crazy box with like, oh, there it is. Hold on, let me grab it. It came in this crazy box for the NERD 20th anniversary. It's got grip tape on the outside because it's obviously a skateboarding themed collaboration. Well, NERD is the band or the group. Pharrell really loves skateboarding, so there you go. So that's why you got the grip tape on the outside. A really, really clean pair of shoes, and the only pair of NERDs I was able to get, which is, I mean, the other ones are super limited, so no surprise there. This next pair, I believe, is a Billionaire Boys Club collaboration. This is probably the most limited pair that I own out of the 5. Again, look-see sample. Really love the texture that you've got on the toe area. Sort of a fuzzy. I'm sure there's a better way to describe that. And then you've got this ribbed like knit on the upper, which is super cool. But I love the way this sample looks a lot. I wish I had just a regular pair of these to rock. And then you've got this triple white colorway. Again, a look-see sample. In obviously, triple white, except for the black. So there you go. Then we've got this friends and family pair of Boost You Wear 2.0s. This is actually a collaboration with Ubiq, which was an amazing sneaker store in Philadelphia until it got bought out by Atmos. And then it closed down because Atmos moved out of the United States. So this is from a defunct sneaker store, but it was one of the most beloved sneaker stores in Philadelphia. So it's really, really cool to have this. Huge thank you to them for that. I really wish they were back because now we only have like 2 big sneaker stores in the city that are boutiques, like specialty boutiques. We've got Lapstone, which is an amazing store. I love Lapstone. And then we've also got Cream, which is like a more upscale one. There's like a security guard. It's, you know, you kind of have to like be let in. It's a bit less of a sneaker vibe and more of like a fashion vibe, but they do get a lot of the big releases. So after that, we've got this friends and family pair of Adidas NMD S1s. This pair was sent to me from Adidas directly. I think there's only like 150 pairs of these or something like that. I have worn these though. I've actually worn these on a somewhat regular basis. I bust these out like maybe once every 2 or 3 months because it's a fire colorway that I don't think ever released. So it's really cool that I was able to have these. I'm definitely never getting rid of these. They were up on the wall, but because these are a special like sample friends and family thing, they might count towards like the specialty shoes and not towards the wall. So I'll, you know, throw up another shoe in its place, probably. We've got another friends and family pair. This is from Bodega. This is the Friends and Family Bodega Forum Highs. This is a pretty wild pair of shoes. There was literally only 333 of these made, and I have pair 230. So huge thank you to Bodega for these. These are so cool. I've worn these as well, and if I ever go to like a Bodega event up in Boston, I will definitely rock these. But a super, super cool pair of shoes. The materials on the shoe are ridiculous. I love Bodega, man. They kill it. They kill it. I love, love, love Bodega. Let them know I sent you guys if you ever check out Bodega or check out their Instagram or whatever. Be like, yo, Seth sent me. And then finally, we've got the Haribo or Haribo Dawn issue 6s. This is the special edition, I guess, collaboration between the Gummy Bear Company and Donovan Mitchell. Now, like the Pharrells, not only did it come in, I think, special packaging, that could also just be the regular packaging, I'm not sure. This is a sample pair. Another look-see sample in this bright red. Dude, red gummy bear is my favorite, so I'm actually stoked that they sent me the red one. You've got the bright red Dawn issue 6s, the Haribo colorway, or Haribo. I think it's Haribo, right? I think it's Haribo. You've got Donovan Mitchell's Spider there on the front, Spida, and then you've got Haribo on the bottom. It does not smell like gummy bears, so, you know, if that's a minus for you, then sorry about that, but overall, fire shoe. I think with all these Adidas sneakers out of the way, it's time to move into the biggest brand that I own, or the biggest 2 brands that I own, Nike and Jordan. So let's do it. It's gonna take me a second to get them all set up, but for you guys, it'll be like nothing. But let's start off Nike with some bangers, and that, of course, are the Dunks and the Nike SB Dunk Lows. The first pair that we have, it's not really a banger, but it is a good everyday shoe, and that's the Nike Dunk Low Pandas. You know, you gotta have them. You don't have to have them, but they're not a bad shoe to have. I don't understand the hate on them, to be honest. After that, we've got the Artifact Void X colorway, I believe is what it's called. Clone X is what it's called. Now, Artifact released a couple different pairs of Dunks, and in order to get them, I think you did have to buy or have the NFT. I don't really know how that worked because they sent me all these, so huge thank you to them for that. But it was a very, very cool activation, very cool drop, and the sneakers that came out of it are actually mad cool, and the resale prices are not that crazy right now, so I would definitely suggest checking them out if you want to grab them. Now is the time. This is the Artifact Ghost colorway. This is probably my favorite out of the 3 that I have. I think there's 4 altogether. This one comes in gray and white. You've got the Ghost little vial right there on the toe, or I guess the tongue, which is pretty cool. It's a sick pair of sneakers, man. It's so different. It's a completely redesigned pair of Nike Dunks. I think it's called the Nike Dunk Genesis 5 is the actual name of this silhouette. And then finally, we got this pair, which I did pre-order on their website. This is the Void colorway. This is the purple and black. You've got this really cool like Nike swoosh that fades from pink to purple on the side. And then, of course, you've got the Artifact logo on the other side. This pair I have worn a decent amount. Great pair of shoes. Really interesting, really different, very futuristic. I like it a lot. After that, we've got the Phillies Dunks. Shout out to the Phillies. As a bandwagon Phillies fan, you know, I'll wear these to, I haven't been to a Phillies game in years, but if I go to a Phillies game, I'll rock these, or if I'm going to like a Philly event, I'll rock these. After that, we've got the Futura Nike SB Dunk Lows, my sneaker of the year last year. I absolutely love this shoe. It is so fire, so clean. The colorway is amazing, and the fact that we're able to actually own, wait, this leaf off of the side. Is that a leaf or is that a petal? Well, regardless, it's on my floor now. The fact that we're actually able to own a Futura Nike SB Dunk Low for not an insane resale price is very cool. And of course, you got the Futura Laboratories logo right there, which is pretty rad. Shout out to Futura for dropping Another banger of a sneaker. After that, we've got this pair of off-white Nike Dunk Lows. This was actually given to me by the one and only Big Boy Chang, which is so sick. Huge thank you to him for this. I really appreciate it. A really, really cool pair of off-white Nike Dunks. Definitely one of the better colorways in my opinion. I know that there's all the 50. I don't have any of those. I did have 1 or 2 pairs, but I just never wore them. I like this pair better because it's more unique. The 50 all kind of look like each other. I think they're cool, but they all kind of look like each other. This one just looks like a UNLV Dunk with like crazy orange laces, which I think is rad. So really, really thankful to Big Boy Chang for the hospitality and giving me this pair. Next up, we've got the Oregon Duck Nike Dunk Lows. These are the alternate colorway. I really should know the names of these sneakers. I think this is called the alternate colorway. It's all black. There was also 2 multicolor colorways of this shoe. This one's the most wearable, obviously, because it is all black. I switched out the laces to green. You've got beautiful suede on the toe. It is technically a PE, even though you could literally buy it from GOAT. And then finally, we've got the Nike SB Dunk Low Concepts Orange Lobsters. One of my favorite pairs of dunks ever made. I wear this pair constantly. Surprisingly wearable, even though it's bright orange. It's one of those great accent piece shoes. I switched out the laces to the blue because I feel like it's such a cool contrast. I just love this shoe, man. I would love to have more of the lobster pack, but I'm just not trying to spend at least $800 on each colorway that's dropped, and definitely not like $5,000 on the red lobsters and the, what is the other colorway? Like the white lobsters, the friends and family pairs. I'm totally fine with the orange lobsters. I feel like that's good enough for me. But now let's dive into Air Maxes, and I've got about 5 pairs at the moment. I have a lot of pairs of Air Maxes, but I cycle through them pretty quickly because I wear them a lot and they get beat very quickly. I actually have a pair of Air Max 90s in the infrared colorway out in my garage, but I've been wearing that for mowing the lawn, and it's just completely beat, so I didn't want to show you guys that. Oh, also, I just bought a pair too. I forgot about these. Forgot about these guys. These are the Oregon Duck PEs. This is the pair that released for Air Max Day 2025 this year, and it released exclusively through GOAT. It's a combination of the Air Max 97 on the top and the Air Max 95s on the bottom. I don't think there's any resale for this. It was $275. If you want to grab a pair, I think they're still available on GOAT for retail, which again is expensive, but still a cool pair of sneakers. I would recommend picking it up. After that, we've got the Air Max Sunders. This is the Kids of Immigrants colorway. This is actually a really cool shoe, not only because it looks cool and it's different, but also because my mom was an immigrant. She moved here when she was 30, I believe. She was half Malay, half Irish, and she grew up in both of those countries and then moved to the US because she married my dad. So pretty wild story, and it's kind of a cool tie in there, which is pretty rad. She like left her whole life. It's a wild story. I'm not gonna tell you guys because that gets a little too personal, but you know, it's kind of cool to have a shoe that kind of ties into that and kind of recognizes that. So I dig that. After that, we've got the Prada Nike Air Max 1s. This is the original colorway, the orange with the waves. I really dig this look a lot. I think Prada just killed it with this collaboration. They did drop probably too many colorways of the shoe, but you know, the first couple were fire. After that, we've got the Nike Air Max 1 Big Bubbles in the Air Max Day colorway from last year. The reason I like this shoe so much, because the colorway, I'll be honest, is not really my vibe. Well, to be fair, actually, the blue matches really well with my blue hoodie right now. But the reason I like this shoe is because Air Max Day is my birthday. So you've got my birthday right there on the tongue. I meant to wear these on my birthday, but I did not. I don't know why. I completely forgot. I literally just completely forgot to wear these. So I said I was gonna wear these every year for my birthday, and I have yet to do that. Next up, we've got the Sean Witherspoons, the 197s, obviously a combo of the Air Max 1s on the bottom and the Air Max 97s on the top. This was a shoe that really launched Sean Witherspoon into the sneaker design world. He obviously started Round 2, which is one of the coolest sneaker stores out there, and just, I guess, vintage stores out there. I think it started as a vintage store. And the shoe is inspired by vintage clothing, which is pretty rad. It's also one of the most hyped up sneaker collaborations of all time. Like at the time back in 2017 or 2016 when these dropped, 2017, I didn't realize it was gonna be this crazy. Like this came out of a design contest that Nike held, and he won by a good amount of votes, and then they released it the following year, and the hype for this pair was unbelievable, and it's still pretty high to this day. There's been times where I've been like, I don't really know if I need this shoe, I don't know if I wanna keep it, and then I'll throw it on feet and I'll be like, yeah, I got to. Like this is one of those shoes that it's kind of wild, but it's just such a cool look. And even almost 10 years later, it's still one of those pairs that I love to throw on. So definitely staying in the collection. After that, we've got the off-white Nike Air Max 97s. This is the Menta colorway. I think it's called the Menta colorway. It's not the Serena colorway, although the Serena colorway is rad. But this one comes in silver or gray, I guess, and this multicolored Nike swoosh. Now it did age a lot. It's becoming yellow pretty quickly, but I think that's just because that's what the material does over time. But still, fire pair of shoes. I will say though that the upper is not super comfortable, and I've only worn it like 2 or 3 times because it's not the most comfortable shoe in the world, but I do like it. Of course, I forgot about another pair of sneakers. This is the Nike Air Max 1 Atmos. This is a collaboration that dropped in Japan with Atmos, obviously. And it's one of those like Grail Air Maxes. You've got elephant print on the toe and on the heel. You've got this beautiful like Tiffany blue swoosh right there. It's just such a clean, wearable look. And I think it re-released again in 2016 or 2017, I think is when the shoe dropped again. It dropped years before that, and I was able to grab this pair actually alongside this pair on Whatnot. So pretty rad pair of sneakers, and I wear this a decent amount. The only problem is because I bought it used, the padding on either the right shoe or the left shoe is kind of pushed down and I can't push it back up. After you get it on and wear it for like 30 seconds to a minute, it's fine, but there's that initial like, why is there padding at the bottom of my heel? Which does trip me out a little bit because I think it's only in one of the shoes. But yeah, still love this pair, still rock it all the time. This pair will definitely be staying in the collection. Now earlier I said there would be more Zellerfeld sneakers, and this is one of them. This is the Air Max 1000. I probably should have put this in with the other Air Maxes, but it's kind of unique in that it's fully 3D printed and features an air bubble in the heel. This is obviously not really a collaboration between Zellerfeld and Nike, but it's a Nike sneaker manufactured by Zellerfeld. So I bought this pair for resale, way more than I should have paid. So the release for these pairs was really interesting, or I guess the initial release, because they might be restocking. That happened at Complex Con Las Vegas. There was like 150 pairs there that you could win for free and then just wear out. And then there was like, I don't know if it was a limited number or maybe a couple thousand that you could also win for free, but they'd print them for you on demand and then ship them to you in a couple months. I don't know if people have gotten their pairs yet, but I know that they are coming. That being said, I had to pay resale for this pair, like I mentioned, because I didn't win any of the pairs. Like there was no pairs for sale. It was purely you had to win them through a slot machine, and I did not win. Everyone else did. Hess Kicks, Elliot Page. I didn't win anything. So I had to pay like $900 for this pair. But that being said, I'm not mad about it. It's an incredibly comfortable pair of shoes. All of Zellerfeld shoes are ridiculously comfortable. Now, weirdly enough, this one's actually not as comfortable as some of the other Zellerfeld pairs because the air unit that Nike put in the midsole is a little bit stiffer than the 3D printed material. So it's actually stiffer in the heel than it is in the forefoot, which is kind of wild. But it's a really, really cool shoe. Obviously, it's an Air Max. It's a futuristic Air Max, and I love the design of this shoe. I think it's incredible. And I guess it's possible that Nike might be re-releasing these. I saw that they were doing an event in Los Angeles, and they gave out some pairs there. So that's cool. Hopefully they drop more pairs. I would love to have more colorways. There was like a cream colorway that I saw someone have that was fire with like an orange air bubble. So sick. One of my favorite releases of last year. I think this shoe is amazing. And if you get a chance to try these, seriously, try them. They're awesome. But now let's get into one of my favorite categories, and that's foam posits. And right now I only have 3 pairs, but they're 3 of my favorite pairs ever. We've got the Copper Foams, which is a pair that I actually was trying to get back when I used to work at the Vans store in the Columbia Mall in Maryland. They dropped it at the DTLR next door, and I went over after my shift to try and grab a pair, and they were completely gone. A pair that I always wanted, never was able to grab, and I just love the unique material or color used on this shoe. The copper is just such a wild look on a sneaker. So crazy. Next up is another grail of mine, and that's the Galaxy Foam Posits, which I absolutely love. This shoe is total fire. This pair first released during All-Star Weekend in 2012 and then re-released this year, and I'm so happy to be able to have a pair. Shout out to Take Out NY. They helped me out with this pair. It's so sick. It's such a cool pair of shoes. I love it so much. I don't know if you guys like foams. I know they were popular back in like the early 2000s, or I guess, well, they were popular in the early 2000s, but most popular probably around the 2010s. But foam posits, man, like growing up in Baltimore, like this is what everyone wore. These and New Balances. I never wore them because I could never get them, but I did always appreciate them from afar. There were times where I didn't like them because they are bricks on your feet, but being nostalgic for them now, I'm all about them. And then the final pair is the Supreme Foam Posits that I actually grabbed in Japan when I was there with my friend Osman back in 2023. I got this at a 2nd Avenue thrift store for like $300 with the box. Crazy. And apparently fakes aren't really a thing in Japan. Like they're very, very careful about buying fakes at thrift stores and then reselling them. So this is not fake. I've actually had it legit checked multiple times just to make sure, but apparently the honor system over there in terms of buying and selling fake sneakers is great. So you don't have to worry about it as much as you do here. I actually also used to customize sneakers back in the day, like from probably 13 to 2015 or 2016. And my channel used to be called Fowler Customs. When I first started it, it was called Fowler Customs. And one of the customs that I did the most was the Supreme like filigree on like Air Jordan 5s and Roshis and things like that. So I always wanted a pair just to look at so I could like kind of copy the design, but I was never able to get one. But now I have one, which is mad cool. I don't do customs anymore, but it's very cool to have this shoe because it's a fire looking pair of foam posits. Like, this is crazy. I love it. All right, I did just get a haircut. I took a break between filming the video to get a haircut because this video has taken like 6 hours and probably a day and a half to film overall. I'm trying to wear the same clothes so that it looks like it's the same video, but I can't lie about the beard and the hair. It's it's different than it was last shot. So there you go. But with all that being said, on to the more eclectic selection of Nike sneakers. These are sort of running shoes and I guess recovery shoes and some, more hyped up sneakers just because I didn't know exactly where to put them. Speaking of that, actually, there's another pair I forgot about. Is that everything? Yo, shout out to editor Tim, TA Vlogs, by the way. Check him out through the link in the description below. There's gonna be like a million edits for him because there's like 17 different shoes that I forgot about that I have to throw in after the fact. So have fun with that, Tim. I'm sorry. Now diving into these shoes. The first pair is the Vomero 5s. This is my favorite colorway, the Supersonic colorway. It actually glows in the dark. Super, super cool pair of shoes. Probably my favorite Vomero 5 ever. I don't think there's any other colorways that I like better than this one. Next up, we've got the reigning champion, well, not reigning champion, the previous champion for the most comfortable shoe in my collection for years, the Nike Zoom Invincible Run 3. This shoe is finally getting replaced this year by the Vomero Pluses at some point, but stay tuned for those. Those are gonna be crazy. I'm gonna do a full review. Next up, we got a pair of shoes that I never expected to like as much as I do, the Pegasus Premium. This shoe features like a 3-cushion setup made up of ZoomX, ReactX, and Air. And it's one of the most unique feeling sneakers I've ever worn, and I really, really like it, way more than I expected to. Next up, we've got, weirdly enough, one of the most popular pairs of shoes of the entire year, the Nike ReactX Rejuvenate, a shoe that is sort of more of a clog than a shoe. Crocs actually just made a shot at Nike for this pair of shoes, and I completely understand it because it looks like a pair of Crocs or a pair of Yeezy slides. And it's cool. It's mad comfy. I like this colorway a lot. It's very eye-catching. It's definitely different. It is a different kind of shoe, and I'm about it. It's comfy. Definitely check out a pair of these if you find one for retail. I guess you could pay resale like I did, but they are expensive for resale, but they're awesome. Next up, we've got the Supreme Nike Flyknit Lunar 1. Or the 1 Plus, something like that. It's a pretty wild pair of shoes that's very understated. Like, for a while, this shoe was like $1,000 on the resale market. I have no idea what it goes for now, but this shoe was actually given to me by Big Boy Chang. So I've gotten 2 pairs of shoes from him. Huge thank you to him for just all the incredible hospitality and pairs of shoes he's given me. I really, really appreciate it. I rocked this pair a bunch in the Philippines when I was there last, and it's mad comfy. It looks great, and even though I think it dropped in when? 2014? Wow, 2013 actually. It's still a pretty modern feeling shoe, even though it's 12 years old. Awesome pair of shoes. It probably will never leave my collection unless, I give it to my daughter or something. Not that I would, it's like a Rolex. You pass it on to your family. Her feet are not gonna be that big. It's fine. Speaking of big feet, we've got a size 12 Nike Zoom Fly. This is the pair from the $20 sneaker collection, which I'm currently working on the next episode for, but it's taking a minute because I'm not finding anything at the thrift stores, although I did just drop an episode a couple weeks ago, so check that out. But really cool pair of sneakers. Buying it with basically $20 by trading and selling and doing things like that in order to get the full Off-White the 10 collection, and this is one of the shoes that I needed for that. I think I have 3 pairs from the $20 sneaker collection, or 3 Off-White pairs so far. So stay tuned, more videos to come. After that, we've got a size 9 also from the $20 sneaker collection, the Nike Blazer Mids. Size 9 and in excellent condition. I actually just bought this pair, and I mean, it's almost brand new. It's wild. I'm shocked by how nice the condition of this pair is. I found it at a sneaker store in Philadelphia, and when I was actually there with Harrison Neville, and he's like, yo, you should buy this. The price is crazy. And I'm like, what's the price? Oh, $450 for these? And they look like this? All right. So I picked it up. And then finally, we've got one of my favorite Off-White sneakers of all time, other than the Chicago Off-White ones. I actually think I like these better than the UNC Off-White ones and the European Off-White ones, which would be the number 2 and 3. I think this is actually number 2 for me. This is from the 10. This is the Off-White Presto. This shoe is amazing. I have a lot of love for Virgil and Off-White and some of these sneakers that dropped back in 2017. We'll talk, obviously, we've got the Chicagos back there. We're going to talk about that a little bit later on in the video, but this one is just one of my favorite sneakers in my collection, and I still wear it a lot to this day. It's still pretty heavily in my rotation, so fire pair of shoes. Actually, I didn't spend any money on this. I think I got it from a StockX promo that I did back in 2017 or 2018. Great, I'm glad I didn't spend like $1,800 on this, but I'm still happy about it. I would spend it. I would spend $2,500 on this if I didn't have it. It's a fire pair of shoes. Next up, we've got my pretty small Kobe collection. I've actually whittled it down over the last couple weeks. The first pair is the Kobe 8 Pro Tro What Those. These released, I think, a little bit later in April. I just dropped a review on these shoes if you want to check it out. Pretty cool pair of sneakers. I wish I had gone up to a size 9.5, but it is what it is. Next up, we've got the Kobe 4 Girl Dad, which I knew I had to grab as soon as I found out I was having a daughter. And I just love this sneaker because of what it is. It's got Girl Dad on the back. It comes in Eagles green, and then you've got orange on the inside, which I believe was the hat that Kobe was wearing in his last picture with Gigi. Or maybe it was a WNBA hoodie and he's wearing a green Eagles hat. I don't remember the color combo, but honestly the story behind the shoe is pretty sad, but I do love the fact that it is a girl dad shoe. Cool shoe, like it a lot. Next up, we've got the Kobe 6 Pro Tro Grinches, one of my favorite pairs of Kobe's of all time. This is a 2020 release, obviously, because it's a Pro Tro. Wear the shoe a lot, surprisingly, for a shoe that's specifically a Christmas shoe. I actually rock it a decent amount. But now we move on to Nike basketball. I've got a couple different pairs here, some of which came with special packaging, some of which did have special packaging, and I just opened it. And then another pair, of course, is the Off-White Hyperdunks. This pair is absolutely fire. Another pair from the $20 sneaker collection. Another pair that I could actually rock, although I think it's a size 8.5, so it wouldn't be super comfortable. I did have this pair in my collection years ago. I actually found it at Kith for retail, and then I sold it because it just really hurt me. in this area whenever I'd wear it. So I think I had it for like a year and a half, then I got rid of it. But this pair, again, $20 sneaker collection, really great condition. I forget how much I paid, but it was not bad. So fire pair of shoes. That was part of the original 10. Next up, we've got the Nike LeBron 22s. This is actually from a package that I got, not from LeBron specifically, but probably from his marketing team or something. This is part of the Monopoly collection, which was pretty wild, and it also came with this like crazy LeBron Monopoly board that's actually in my downstairs living room right now. Fire pack of stuff. You can check out the full unboxing video on my channel. But this is a pair of shoes that came with it. This is the Monopoly Money pair, I think. I don't remember the exact name of this pair, but very cool pair of shoes. And you've got like this Monopoly Money logo right there in this jewel or gem, which is rad. I love that detail a lot. After that, we've got the Degree Freak, Giannis's Degree, not really collaboration, but Degree packaging. You've got, well, there's a deodorant right there. You've got some spray-on deodorant. You've got a note, and then you've got a pair of Giannis in this purple and sort of orangey pink color, which is pretty cool. So you got some shoes, you got some Degree deodorant, you're good to go. That's all you need for basketball. Shout out to Degree for sending this my way, I appreciate it. Final Nike basketball package. We've got this. This is actually from FaZe Clan. Shout out to them for sending this my way. This is the FaZe LeBron collaboration. It's designed to look like a gaming PC, which is pretty cool, but it is kind of coming apart, which sucks. I don't know why it's coming apart. It's only been, I think, in my house for like a year. Let's pop it open. Whoo! Open up the gaming PC, see the internals, and instead of a CPU, we've got shoes. Pretty cool though. You got your FaZe Clan LeBrons right here, which are pretty rad. I thought these were gonna sell a lot better than they did. Weirdly enough, they just didn't really move. Like they were in the outlets for a while afterwards, which is kind of wild, but great pair of sneakers. Very cool packaging, like insanely cool packaging. And this is a pair that I'm definitely gonna keep in the packaging for years to come, because it's dope. Like this is such a cool box, look at this. All right, so I think that's all the Nike basketball that I have. Now, without further ado, let's dive into Jordan. Probably overall my favorite brand, so it's gonna be a long segment. So let's start off Jordan brand with a pair of actually Jordan Westbrooks, the Why Not 01s. This is a pair customized for me at a Nike event by Jew working on projects. He actually customized it just the way that he customized a pair for Russell Westbrook. So I have I guess a one of two, which is crazy. He said he's never done this custom on anyone else's shoes, so it's literally just me and Westbrook, which is pretty rad. It says why not? So sick, man. I love it. This is so dope. So shout out to him for this custom. I love it. I'm gonna display this probably in the new studio, which I'm building out back, so stay tuned for that. This might be one of the last videos that we film in this studio, which is crazy. Next up is a giant pair of samples, or I guess PEs. This is actually a PE for Kennedy Meeks, who he was both a UNC champion, and also he played in the Jordan Brand Classic in I think 2013 or 2014, alongside some other pretty amazing players who were in the NBA. This is a pair of shoes I found at the thrift store. It was part of the $20 sneaker collection, the first episode of season 3, and I was actually able to reach out to Kennedy Meeks because I didn't know whose pair it was, and after doing some deduction with Tom Stefaniuk, I figured out that's probably who it was. So I messaged him and said, hey, I found your PEs at a thrift store in Philadelphia. He's never even been to Philadelphia, I don't think. And he's like, yeah, those are mine. So crazy pair of shoes that I got for $10. PE worn by UNC champion Kennedy Meeks. Pretty incredible. So yeah, shout out to him for confirming these are his, and I still can't believe I have these for the price I got them for. Look, I mean, they're game worn too, like pretty heavily game worn, obviously. This is a giant package from Jordan Brand. I think one of my first packages from them. This is the Gatorade collaboration from I think 2017. So you've got Michael's face in the front, and then inside you've got a couple different pairs. You've got 32s, 32 lows, and then you've got 6s, the Gatorade 6s, and some other stuff. I don't think you can see my face, but these are the two pairs. I would pull them out, but I'm not going to. You get the idea. After that, we've got a pair of Air Jordan 30s. This is actually the very first shoe I ever reviewed. In fact, it's the first video I ever posted on this channel. Now, this is not the exact pair. I did want to rebuy this pair when I hit 1 million subscribers, so I did. And I think for that video, I reposted the unboxing, the original unboxing of this shoe from 2016. That was 24-year-old Seth. Now I'm 33. So it's been almost 10 years of sneaker YouTube. And it's kind of wild to have this pair again. Also, it's pretty hard to find this pair. I guess because it wasn't like super popular, I don't know. But no one really had DS pairs. So I forget where I bought it from, somewhere on eBay. But yeah, it's really cool to have this as sort of a memento. Something that I'm kind of nostalgic for. A pair of shoes which I liked, but I returned because I didn't have the money to keep it at the time. So I reviewed it and then returned it. But it wasn't even a real review. It was like, I tried the shoes on, I looked at them, which I guess is a lot of the reviews that I do now. But for basketball sneakers, you're supposed to kind of play basketball in them. And with this shoe, I didn't because I couldn't. I bought it, reviewed it, and then returned it the next day because I was like, okay, I don't know how long I can have this shoe from Foot Locker before they get mad about it. Wild piece of Seth Fowler history, I guess. Getting into some of the more popular retros, we're gonna go down the list from highest number to lowest number. Starting things off, we've got the Air Jordan 14s. This is the Rip Hamiltons or the Cherries, whatever you wanna call them. Really clean pair of shoes. One of my favorite pairs of 14s in general. I love the 14s. I don't know why the 14s don't get the love that they deserve, but this colorway in particular, man, with the leather, whew, absolutely fire and crazy comfortable. Seriously, a crazy comfortable shoe. Next up, we've got the Air Jordan 13 Playoffs. This is a 2023 release. Love this shoe as well. Also very, very comfortable. The black is super clean. Then, of course, we've got the Flu Games. This is actually the older release, the 2016 pair, just because it looks just like the 2025s. I didn't need that pair. This pair is basically brand new, so why would I spend the money on the new pair, although I do it all the time, to buy newer versions of shoes I already have that are also in good condition. So I somehow restrained myself in the 13s, or sorry, the 12s. And I'm glad that I did, because these Flu Games are fire, but I don't need two pairs because I barely ever wear the first pair that I have. After that, we've got the Concord 11s. This is a 2017 release. Incredibly fire pair of sneakers. And I actually now have both the Concords and the DMPs, or I guess the Gratitude 11s. However, my entire family has these because I was able to get them at the outlet, my wife and my daughter. And they're a little bit different. I mean, they've got a leather upper. They've got gold accents. I still think I prefer these. Of course, this is the one with the 45 in the back, which is pretty rad. But this one's also good. And I wear this one a bit more because usually we go out with the family and we match because we're cute like that. So, no big deal. If you see people in matching Gratitudes, it's probably us. Next up, we got my favorite Air Jordan 11 of all time, the Bred 11s. This is the pair from 2019. I'm really excited about the upcoming lows that are coming out. Super stoked on those. This pair is fire. I wish I had a pair in my size. This is a size 8.5. It's the only pair I could get on the sneakers app. I'm sure I've had 9s, or I'm sure I could have gotten 9s pretty easily, but I didn't. I just rocked the 8.5 and I was fine with it, especially because I got it for retail. And then, of course, we've got the recently released Legend Blue Air Jordan 11s. I really wanted the 2014 pair. I could not grab it. I think I was taking it was either the subway to the city or something was happening where I couldn't get it because it was like the Nike app at the time, Nike.com, and that just was awful. I guess the Nike website. I call it the Nike app. I'm so used to everything being an app. At the time, it was just Nike.com. But I missed out on the release, and now I finally have a pair, which I actually think is cleaner than the original because it's got the higher leather. I think that's a nicer look. Continuing on down the list, we've got the Steel 10s. This pair is absolutely fire. I don't remember which year this is. I bought it used for the $20 sneaker collection. It was part of the giant Jordan clock, which unfortunately is no more. I actually had to take that apart because it was too much. It was like in the way of the door in my studio. I kept bumping into it and knocking it over, and all the shelves started breaking, so I just cut it up and threw it out. But if you guys are interested, I could maybe put a new Jordan wall clock on the wall of my new studio. Let me know if you guys want that. I would definitely do it if that's really what you guys want. Then we've got the brand new Cool Gray 9s, which just recently released. I'm surprised by how much hype there is for these, but I get it. They're clean. They're super, super clean. I'm really excited about rocking these more than I already have. And we've got the Space Jams in black, very clean, also from the $20 sneaker collection. Yes, it was, yeah, because the 10s and then the 9s, yeah, these are both from the $20 sneaker collection. Fire pair of shoes. I don't remember how much I got it for, but I got it without an insole. After that, we've got, of course, the Playoff 8s. I'm really stoked about the Aqua 8s releasing later this year. Super clean pair of shoes. Worn this a decent amount. I don't usually like 8s, but after rocking this pair a couple times, I was like, you know what? I need to rethink my 8 hate. I really like 8s now. They're not like the most wearable shoes in the world, but they're cool. They're definitely a cool look, a retro basketball vibe if that's what you're going for. And then we've got the Cardinal 7s, a pair of shoes which somehow sat at the outlets. I don't understand why. I think the shoe is fire. It's one of my only pairs. In fact, it's my only pair of 7s at the moment. Yeah, it's my only pair of 7s. I don't really love 7s, but the Cardinals are clean. And then the only pair of 6s I have at the moment, other than the infrareds that I had from the $20 sneaker collection, which actually are in a box somewhere, but they're not my size, so I haven't rocked them. I also had those Gatorade 6s, which you guys already saw. So I do have a 6, but none that are OG colorways in my size. So I should probably work on getting a pair of OG 6s in my size. Next up are the Air Jordan 5s. I've actually got a decent amount of these. We've got the Fire Red 5s from 2020. Another pair that I picked up from the $20 sneaker collection. And I got it for like pretty cheap too. I think it was like maybe $150. I know they're not super popular, but my size, good condition, I dig them. I love 5s. Then of course we've got the recently released, reimagined, black metallic 5s, or the metallic 5s with the 3M hits, or I guess the reflective hits both on the heel and then around the different panels on the shoe. I actually really love this shoe, and I'm kind of surprised that it is the most resold shoe of the year. I wouldn't have expected that, but apparently it is. Then we've got the Off-White 5s, the OG Off-White 5s. Definitely the most comfortable pair of 5s out there because it doesn't have all the crazy padding on the upper, so it's like a lot more flexible. It fits a little bit better. You actually should go down probably a half size in this shoe because of that. And I just think it's crazy comfortable and breathable. And of course, Virgil did his thing on this shoe. Shout out to Virgil. Absolutely an incredible, incredible collaboration. I had the sail colorway, but I got rid of it. I probably shouldn't have. What is that on the bottom of my shoe? Is that mold? No. What is that? I don't want to get too close. Okay. I've worn this pair a lot. I wore this pair overseas a bunch, and it's got a lot of stories. Next up, we've got the Dornbecker 5s. This is actually a sample pair that I bought on eBay a while back. And what's cool about this pair is that it doesn't age. It doesn't yellow. They actually use specific, well, it's kind of brown from walking in it. But the material they use, the glow-in-the-dark material, does not age like regular TPU on other Air Jordan sneakers. And the story behind this shoe, the child who designed it, really, really cool story. Definitely check it out if you haven't yet. But cool story with a lot of really interesting history behind it. And also probably my favorite pair of Dornbeckers. It's a really, really cool shoe. I love this sneaker. Unfortunately, not very comfortable though, because it's almost like a patent leather. It's not very flexible. And actually, possibly my favorite pair of 5s in the entire collection. Didn't expect that, but I really think that might be the case. Finally, the most expensive pair of 5s in the collection, we've got the Tokyo 5s. I actually won this at Complex Con Long Beach in like 2019 for free, which is crazy. You guys should check out the vlog. It was a wild, wild event. And I did a whole video with Heskix because he was wearing his pair while I won this pair. It was just a insane day, and they made me wear it out of the event. But one of the rarest pairs of 5s out there. This was released for the Jordan brand store opening in Tokyo back in 2011, I think. And that store is actually not open anymore. There is still a Jordan brand store in Tokyo, which I've been to, but it's a different store. They moved into a bigger location. But yeah, this released exclusively there. And this, on the back of the shoe, is actually 23 in the negative space. I literally never realized that until Hess told me. And I'm like, why did I not notice that before? I had no idea what it was. I thought maybe it was like the logo of the store or something, or maybe it meant something in a different language. I don't know. I'm ignorant. I don't know. But it's actually just a 23. So there you go. And it's in the background of all my videos. So it's a pretty well-known pair of 5s, I think. Probably one of the most well-known pairs of 5s in my collection, because it's in every video. Now we've got one of the bigger parts of my collection, at least for one silhouette. We've got the Air Jordan 4s, which obviously I really like. First up, we've got the Fire Red 4s from 2020. Super clean pair. I think I got this pair for retail. I could be mistaken, I'm not totally sure, but I think I got it for a good price. It's gotta be retail. After that, we've got the Military Blue 4s, which just released last year, one of my favorite releases of the year. I'm sure you guys know all about this shoe. Then we've got not the new White Cement 4s, obviously. This is the 2016 pair. I've worn this pair pretty much into the ground. I cannot wait until I can get a pair of the newer White Cement 4s in my size for a good price. Then, of course, we've got the Bread Reimagined 4s. Right here. I did have the original Breads for a while, but I just didn't love the suede on them. I know that's the OG. I know I should like it more, but this pair is just more wearable to me because you can wear it out in the rain if you need to. So I've been rocking this pair a lot. We've also got, of course, the Ama Manières, the new pair that just released. That's going for like retail or below, I think. I haven't checked. It could be going for more now, but pretty sure, at least the last time I checked, it was going for under retail. Super clean shoe, though. I really like this. In fact, I think I like it better than the OG Ama Manière Air Jordan 4s from a couple years ago. The only real difference between these two shoes, besides the color, is the fact that this one has this like metal stud right there in the heel that I'm not sure exactly what that's for other than having the Ama Manière logo on it, which is still a nice touch regardless. And then we've got the recently released Air Jordan 4 SBs in navy. Love this shoe. I just picked up another pair. You guys probably saw it in my unboxing live stream, which I just did a couple days ago, so check that out. If you guys haven't yet, there should be a link somewhere. Probably not. I might forget to put the link in. Go to my channel. Check out my live streams. It's one of those. Next up, we've got the Nike SB Air Jordan 4s from 2023. My sneaker of the year, the Pine Greens. Just incredibly clean pair of sneakers. One of the best Air Jordan 4s of all time, I think personally, and I do prefer it to the navies. I just like the fact that it's green. There's not a lot of green 4s, and the cream upper is kind of clean. So yeah. And then finally, we've got another recently released pair. These are the Nigel Sylvester Air Jordan 4s, the Bike Airs, the Brick by Bricks. This pair really took a minute to grow on me, but then when I threw in the white laces, or at least I saw Kais throwing in the white laces, I was like, you know what? Yeah, I gotta buy it. And I did. I bought it for like $380 on Whatnot, and now the prices are up to like $425 in like a span of 2 weeks. So the shoe dropped. Well, first, it was selling for like $1,000 before it released, and then it came out, and then it was selling for like $500, and the price slowly dropped down to like $350, and that was maybe 2 weeks ago when the shoe released, and now the prices are going back up, and I think they will continue to go back up. Maybe not to like $600, but they're going to be up there. It's not going to be cheaper than $300 is my guess. But fire pair of sneakers. I love this shoe. But now let's move into the Air Jordan 3s. All right, so here are the 3s. I don't have as many as the 4s, even though I think I like the 3 silhouette better than the Air Jordan 4 silhouette. The first pair is, of course, the Fire Reds. Really clean pair of shoes with the Nike Air branding on the heel. After that, we've got the White Cement Reimagines. This shoe is just incredible. I really should have doubled up. I think I did double up at one point, and then I don't know, I think I bought like a new camera or something. I'm like, I don't need double ups. I should just pay for this camera. So I sold it and a couple other double ups. And I kind of regret it now because It's not like super easy to get this pair for as cheap as it used to be. Then we've got a classic example of a pair of shoes that I already had the older version of, and I decided to also buy the newer version, and I don't need both. The Black Cement 3s, this is a 2018 pair, and then we've got the 2024 pair. How did I already forget? 2024 pair. What's funny about this is that I was actually on Reddit, and there was a whole thread about how my videos have gone downhill, which I just stumbled upon. I wasn't searching my name or anything. I was searching for sneakers, and I saw this thread of like, whose videos have fallen off or something, and it was like a couple different YouTubers and then me, and then there's like this whole comment thread, which really bummed me out, I'm gonna be honest. But it's funny because the person who sold me this pair of 2018 Air Jordan 3s was like, yeah, I sold him the Black Cement 3s back in the day, and I used to really like his videos, but now he's really fallen off. And I'm like, wow, bro, at 2? I met you in real life. Like, come on. Shout out to him if he's watching. He obviously doesn't anymore, but if he is, I don't remember your name, but shout out to you. He didn't really give me a deal, but he did sell me the shoes early, so I appreciate that. Next up, we've got the J Balvin Air Jordan 3s. These aren't the Medellin Sun. Are these the Medellin Sunsets? What's the black pair called? The Rios? Yeah, these are the Medellin Sunsets. I love this collaboration. You've got literally the sunset on the heel. It's so dope. One of my favorite Air Jordan 3 collabs, and I don't think it's as popular as it used to be. I think the prices have kind of gone down a little bit because people forgot about it. But it's one of those shoes that I don't think you should forget about. It's a very, very clean, well, my pair isn't, but a very, very clean release. And then finally, you've got the Alma Maniere Air Jordan 3s, the OGs, which were like going for $1,000 at one point, and now they're like down to like $300. So if you want a pair of these, now's the time to grab them. Both my wife and I have a pair. Shout out to Lilac Blonde, I think is the name of the store, for sending my wife her pair. That was really cool. I really appreciate that, guys. Check them out on Instagram. But this is a really cool pair of sneakers. Probably my favorite Air Jordan 3 collab of all time. This shoe just hits. Now, the other Air Jordan 3 Alma Manieres that released, they're good, but they're not as good as this. I don't think anything can really top this because just the color palette is so different. And then we got the new ones, and yeah, the color palette on the black one was fine, but it wasn't as good. And then we had the blue ones that just released, and they're cool too, but nothing tops this, personally. If you think different, let me know in the comments. After that, of course, as we continue down the list, we've got the 2s. We've got the OG 2s right here, the Chicago 2s that released, what, 2 years ago? 2022? Maybe 3 years ago now? Got these for retail. A shoe that I actually really like. Doesn't get enough credit. I think this shoe is definitely underrated. Following that up, we've got the Just Dawn 2s, the blue colorway. I actually got this in a video that has not come out yet. So stay tuned for that. I'm not going to tell you which video it is, but I got this in a video that hasn't come out yet. This was a grail of mine for a long time. I never thought I'd be able to grab it, and then it kind of just fell into my lap. So stay tuned for that video. Pretty cool turn of events is how I got this shoe. Actually, speaking of the Just Dons, this is not my favorite Just Don 2. I think my favorite is probably the pink one, but that one's a lot more expensive, even though this one was the most hyped one at the time. And I don't know, I'd love to get that pair, but I'm super happy to have this pair. And then finally, we've got the Off-White 2s, a really interesting pair of 2s. It's actually inspired by the pair of 2s that are in the Jordan brand archives. It's got a cracked midsole, as you can see, with like resin to kind of obviously keep it together. Very, very cool pair of sneakers. And one of my favorite Off-White shoes, even though it's like one of the least it's not one of the least popular, but it's one of the less popular pairs. It's got Michael Jordan's signature, and I just dig it. I like it. As you can tell by how excited I was when I threw it. So I tried to sit all the ones on my table at once, and it just wasn't gonna happen. I have the most ones of any silhouette in the entire collection, and that's because it's my favorite shoe of all time. So why don't we start things off with the lows, because I only have 4 pairs of lows at the moment. We've got the Trophy Rooms from last year. I bought these on my birthday, actually, last year. Super excited about these. I've worn them a bunch. Actually, I say that about every shoe, but I genuinely wear all the shoes in my collection. There's like maybe 2 or 3 pairs that we talked about that were DS. Everything else I wear. That's why I can justify, or I think that I can justify having all these shoes, because I wear them. But I really should get rid of some pairs that I've worn, just because I just don't have the space for it. It's ridiculous. Last year, it was like, if I don't wear it, I'll get rid of it. This year, I've worn everything, and I still need to get rid of stuff. Again, check out my Whatnot live stream, linked in the description below, and I'll probably list some on eBay and stuff like that too. So check out, all the links below. You can probably grab some pairs there. Next up, we've got the Travis Scott Canaries that released last year. Great summer shoe. People didn't love this colorway, but I think it's fire. It's one of those shoes, it's like so out there, you're like, yeah, I kind of mess with it. Of course, we've got the Reverse Olives. I don't remember the name of this colorway, but the black and green one. I do have the other olives on the floor, these guys, but I actually have yet to confirm that they're legit, so I don't want to put them in with the other Jordan 1s because I don't know if they're legit. I don't think that they are, but I will double check and get back to you guys eventually. I still don't know. But we've got these guys, and then finally, we've got my favorite pair of Travis Scott's ever, the Fragment Travis Air Jordan 1 lows. This shoe is just wild. Such a sick release. I really kind of wish I had gotten the other Fragment Travises, the high tops that released a couple years ago alongside this, but if I could only have one, it would be this pair. I just think the color blocking on this shoe is incredible. I love the original Fragments, the Fragment Jordan 1s that have similar color blocking to this specifically, but The fact that Travis did a collab with Fragment, one of the craziest triple collabs I've ever seen. But now let's get into some of the OG colorways of the Air Jordan 1s. I have a bunch of different versions from a bunch of different years, but I love them all. And I probably will not be getting rid of any of these, except for maybe one. But I'll tell you guys which pair that is as we continue along. The first pair that we have are the Lost and Found Air Jordan 1 Chicagos from 2022. Sneaker of the year from that year, in my opinion. It's got this really great story of being like stuffed away in a box in the bottom of a sneaker store and then being pulled out. It was lost and now it's found. You know, a little biblical action there. It's kind of cool. But yeah, fire pair of sneakers. I say that about every pair of shoes, but that's the reason they're in my collection, because I think they're fire. We've also got the 2015 Chicago ones, which are closer to the, I wouldn't say closer to the OG, but they look closer to a new pair of Air Jordan 1 Chicagos just because they didn't have the aged look on the shoe. But I think out of the two, if I had to pick one, yeah, I might go for the 2015s actually. I was going to say the Lost and Founds, but I think the 2015s actually edged them out a little bit. Then we've got the Black Toes. Of course, we've got the recent release Black Toes with the Air Jordan text on the side based on the PE. People don't seem to love that text. I get it because it's not the Wings logo, but still, it's kind of a cool piece of history. It's nice to have, especially for under retail, which is what the shoe goes for, and you can actually grab, I think, most of the shoes that I talk about in today's video through the YouTube shopping tab on your screen. So check it out if you want to grab a fire pair of sneakers for under retail. Then we've got the 2016 Black Toes with the Wings logo, which obviously if I had to pick one of the two, it'd be this pair. I was actually thinking about selling this pair when I knew this pair was coming out, not realizing that it wasn't going to have the Wings logo. And I was just thinking to myself, I don't need two pairs of Black Toes, but I just kept procrastinating selling this pair. And I'm glad I didn't because, you know, it's nice to have a pair with the Wings logo on it. So happy about that. Then of course we've got the Royals from 2018 or 2017, I think. Worn this pair a bunch. I had a second pair on ice, got rid of it for some reason, and now I regret it because this pair is beat. But very, very cool, clean pair of sneakers. Continuing on, we've got the satin bred ones. This is a pair that I've worn. I also got at the Nike outlet. I've worn a couple times, probably 3 or 4 times. This is a pair I would consider getting rid of because I just haven't worn it as much as any of the other pairs on the table right now, and it just takes up a slot. I like it. I would obviously like it more if it was the more hyped up pair that was limited and numbered, but unfortunately it is not. It's just the standard women's release, and it's fine. I like it. It's not a bad shoe, but if I have to whittle down the collection, it's not a pair that I see myself wearing that often. So this might be the pair that I'd let go, which is crazy because the bread colorway is my favorite colorway of all time. After that, we've got the 2016 breads. I've actually got a pair on ice that's completely sparkly. In fact, I'll grab it really quick. Let me show you what I mean. It's even got the original receipt from when I bought it in the Nike sneakers app. Look at that. Crazy sparkle going on. Like you wipe it off and it just comes right back. Like look at that. That's ridiculous. It sucks. Because like I was really excited about rocking this, but I guess I could still rock it. But man, that sparkling is bad. Real bad. At least the pair that I wore is not sparkly, so that's a plus. After that, we've got my favorite release of the year and probably sneaker of the year for me. I know a lot of people will say the Brick by Bricks, but for me, it's the Bread 185s. This shoe is just incredible. I really need to double up on this pair. It's actually, I have doubled up on this pair. Actually, I got something to show you guys haven't seen yet. Inside this box is a sample pair of the Bread 185s that Jordan Brand sent to me. Huge thank you to them. I haven't showed you guys, but it's here inside this box. I've looked at it once or twice. Look at this, brand new, fresh out of the box. I will never wear this pair because it is a sample. It's got sample tags and everything. You can't really see them because they're like deep in the shoe. They're like, you really can't see them. They're like in there, but it says, I think it says promo sample. It's not like a true look-see sample. It's a promo sample, but still. It says Air Jordan 1 High 85 Black Varsity Red White promo 24. Courtesy of Jordan Brand. Huge thank you to them for this. This is wild. I'm so excited about this pair. So yeah, I do have a pair on ice, but I will never wear it because it is a promo sample. And it's of my favorite shoe of all time. And I think this is my favorite version of my favorite shoe of all time other than the OGs. So can't bust those out. That's a definite no. I do want a pair of these that are on ice that are not a sample that I can wear eventually. And I'll be on the lookout for those in the near future. Speaking of the OG pair, we of course have the 85 highs, the Bread ones, the OG pair, the pair from 1985, right here. Traded with DJ Sneakerhead for this pair. He has my size 13, which I actually got from Bailey Berry. Shout out to him. I've got videos of this entire thing. I got videos of me getting the original pair, and then I got a video of me trading with DJ for that pair. Super cool. Incredible pair of sneakers. And it's in every single video that I film right back there. It's crazy to see this pair too and have it in hand and then compare it to like the newer release. They're similar, there's some differences, but absolute grail sneaker of mine. And to have it in my size now, next level. All right, so we already looked at one of the Grail Air Jordan 1s in my collection, the OG Air Jordan 1s, but now let's dive into some other Grails that are some of which probably the most expensive sneakers in my entire collection. So let's start things off with the Shattered Backboard 1s. This pair dropped in 2015 Really, really great pair of shoes. My pair is a little, there we go, a little dented, but now we're good. This pair is re-releasing in 2025, and I'm really excited to compare the original pair to this new pair to see if the material quality is as good as this pair, because this pair has this reputation of being the best quality Air Jordan 1. I don't know if that's the case, but it does feel good. After that, we've got 3 of the Union LA Air Jordan 1s. There's also the Beffy's Beauty Supply, which I no longer have, which also sells for under retail. We've got the Black Toe Air Jordan 1 Union LAs. We've got the Storm Blue Air Jordan 1 Union LAs. This pair is really special to me because I proposed to my wife in this pair, and I really love it. It's a sick colorway. I think it's actually also the most valuable of the 3 currently, which is surprising because for a while this was, and then it switched over to the Storm Blues. And then finally, the recent release, the Union LA Air Jordan 1 on backs, or the Chicago Shadows. I also really like this pair a lot. I just picked this up. Super, super clean pair. I think I prefer, I definitely prefer the Storm Blues, but I think I prefer the Black Toes as well. I think if I had to go in order of favorite, it'd be like this, number 1, number 2, and then number 3. But I still really like this shoe, especially with the yellow laces. I think it makes it pop. Of course, following that up, we've got the Off-White Air Jordan 1 UNCs. This is a pretty nice looking pair of shoes. I don't wear it as much as I should, and I spent way too much money on it, even at the time. I think I spent $1,800 on it. And the guy who I bought it from, good dude for sure. But he delivered it to me at the airport when I was flying to California, which is pretty rad. That kind of adds to the story of it. But I spent like $1,800 on it, and then the price dropped to like $1,200. So I regretted that. But I think now it's probably $1,600. It's around what I paid for it. Paid too much, but it's a really clean pair of sneakers. And it's a little bit different than any of the other Off-White Air Jordan 1s because it's got some new like features and additions. You've got like the plastic here. I don't know. There's some changes to the shoe. I don't remember exactly what they were. I think it's just the plastic and obviously the colorway. It's cool. I like it. And then finally, a pair that you guys all knew was coming. The Off-White Air Jordan 1 Chicago's, signed by Virgil, with the Air Fowler text on the side. I've got a whole vlog about it. You guys should check it out. It's sick. I've got a picture with them. They actually didn't let me film the interaction, but I was able to record it on a microphone, which they let me do. It's not like I did it secretly. And you guys can listen to the whole recording over on my, well, it's obviously on my YouTube channel, but I think if you type in like Seth Fowler Off-White 1 or Seth Fowler Virgil or something like that, it'll pop up. But I got a chance to sit down with Virgil Abloh for like 10 minutes, pick his brains about design, and it was a really incredible experience. And the review that I did for this shoe was like my first big video. So yeah, he really made my YouTube channel too. So Virgil really contributed a lot more to my life than I think he ever realized. He really did have a huge impact on my life, so I will always be grateful to Virgil for that. And I got this shoe for retail at the event too, so a lot of really great memories tied to this shoe. And unfortunately, because the shoe is signed, and because I got it for retail, and because it's DS, well, almost DS, I wore it for the review, I'm not gonna wear this shoe. So I am also on the lookout for a pair of Chicago Air Jordan 1 Off-Whites for a good price. Also for the $20 sneaker collection too, so I'll buy them and then probably wear that pair. I will say this is my favorite pair in my entire collection. I love the OG ones, they're incredible, but this one, just the story that's tied to this shoe, it can't be beaten. All right, so at the beginning of this video, I said stay tuned to the end because I've got a special pair of shoes to show you guys, and it's now finally time. And the shoe is the brand new upcoming Apothecary Zellerfeld Mule. This shoe is the first official Apothecary shoe. Apothecary is my brand, and we are officially dropping a shoe with Zellerfeld, or I guess it's our own shoe manufactured by Zellerfeld. The same people who made the Nike Air Max 1000s. We're dropping a shoe with the same people that made this shoe. That's so crazy. This is honestly a dream come true. I've made sneakers in the past, but this is the first collaborative effort that I've had with my business partner Osman, and to be able to create a shoe that's so wearable. Like, we specifically designed this shoe to be like an everyday lounge shoe, but also a shoe you can throw on and go to the office or wear around wherever you want to wear. And especially being a sock company, it makes sense to make a cozy vibe sneaker, or a cozy vibe shoe. I guess it's more of a mule than a sneaker. But it's just been a dream come true for me, and I'm so excited about this pair. I've actually got a full behind the scenes design video coming out about this shoe. This is actually just a sample, so some things will change before we actually release the shoe. So stay tuned for that video if you want to learn some of the details behind this Apothecary Mule. But it's releasing in a bunch of different colors. There's a black one, there's this tan one, there's gonna be a blue one, an orange one. It's crazy, and I'm so excited about it. And it releases officially in May. Now, I'm not gonna give you guys any more information than that, but stay tuned because the shoe will be releasing in May, so make sure to follow Apothecary on Instagram. And also follow the brand new Shoes Off podcast, my podcast, which we're actually gonna do a whole video, or a launch video when the shoe launches, or I guess a launch live stream. So if you're interested in grabbing this shoe, seriously, stay tuned, hit that subscribe button. It's coming soon. And it's honestly one of the coolest things I've ever been a part of. So very excited about this. More info to come. So yeah, I guess this is the first official reveal of the brand new upcoming Apothecary Mule. Fully 3D printed and crazy comfortable. Like, genuinely crazy soft and comfortable. Look how squishy that is. It feels like foam. Seriously, you gotta try it. Like, you don't understand how soft it is until you actually have it in hand. It's not what you'd expect at all. All right, so at this point, you've seen my entire sneaker collection. You've seen my upcoming shoe. Now it's time for me to decide what shoes to keep. I've been spending like literally days on this, which is pathetic. I know it's stupid because it's sneakers, but for me this is like, I mean, this is just like, I don't know, what I've been collecting. It's my entire collection for the last couple years, and I know I get rid of stuff every year or two, but like, come on, look at this. This is all my stuff. So it's hard. Needless to say, this last couple days has been tough deciding what I want to keep and what I don't want to keep. And I've made some tough choices. For example, the, where'd they go? The off-white Mentas. I think I gotta let them go. I just don't wear them enough, and I don't think they're that comfortable. So these guys are gonna go, unfortunately. Honestly, there's some other shoes that I didn't think I was gonna let go of because I literally just got them, but I think they need to be let go of. We've got these guys, the new Kobe's, the brand new Kobe's that haven't even come out yet. I think I gotta let go of those guys. There's like a lot of stuff here. I mean, I'm still really happy with what we have on the wall. We've got a bunch of Jordan 1s. I did let go of like the satin ones. All the 2s have stayed. A lot of the lows have stayed. Most of the 4s have stayed. Most of the 5s have stayed. Some Air Maxes have gone, like I got rid of the Patas. It's tough. I did have to get rid of some New Balances because it got to a point where I was like, you know what? I really love these New Balances, but a lot of them were like GRs, and it was the kinds of shoes where I could just rebuy them if I really want them. All like the more limited stuff I kept. Same thing with the Asics. It was tough, man. Now, to be fair, I did make some slight, I won't call it cheating, but I did some slight, finagling to make sure that there were some pairs that I could keep. Basically what I did is a lot of the friends and family stuff, which I said that I was gonna do, like these are not gonna go on the wall, these are gonna go back in the original boxes so that way we have more room on the wall. And there's a couple more pairs that I might take off the wall just because they are sort of like friends and family gifted. Like for example, some of the Artifacts. I really only wear the purple pair, but I don't want to get rid of these because these were gifts. The Salehi Junipers, haven't worn those in a minute, but they were a gift and they come with a sick box, so I'm gonna keep those in the box. And I can make space for like a couple other pairs that maybe I don't want to get rid of. Like I don't really want to get rid of these, but these don't fit on the wall. These are the Asics GT 2160s, the Jound collaboration. I don't want to get rid of those, but there's no room on the wall. I don't know. Well, for example, these two, like the friends and family bodegas. I'm keeping these, but I'm gonna keep them in the box. So we got wall room, you know? Because I don't wear them that much because I don't want to ruin them. Another shoe that I'm kind of sad to see let go are these guys, the Oregon PEs. Like they're not really a PE because I got them from GOAT. Like, and it's not like I bought them resale from GOAT. They like sold on GOAT. So, but I never wear them. Like I literally never wear them. So have to let those guys go. And then there's just like random stragglers, which like, it sucks, but it needs to be done. Oh, and one other sort of concession that I made, which you guys may or may not like, is that some of my running sneakers that I actually run in, they're just gonna live upstairs in the closet. Because that way they're sort of out of the way. They're not really collector sneakers, but I do use them for running. And this is more of like my collection wall. So a couple more pairs saved from the axe. But again, seriously guys, if you want to grab any of these shoes, it will be on probably Whatnot, linked in the description below, and possibly on eBay, probably linked in the description below as well, just because I gotta move them. It sucks, but if I don't move them now, I'm never gonna move them. I even considered buying more boxes to fit some pairs over there, but that would have been a mistake. I've got my entire sock collection from like almost all of the Apothecary sock drops over there. Don't have room over there. Had to make some tough decisions, but there we go. All 84 pairs, and then a bunch of pairs of sneakers on the ground. You can't look at those, don't look at those. We've got a bunch of Jordans, probably mostly Jordans, some Kobe's, some Air Maxes, some foam posits, New Balances, Asics, and then you've got like the staple Brooks. You've got the up there New Balances, which I forgot to put in the wall until after the New Balance section was done. You've got some Sauconys, some Yeezys. I'm tempted to like, the Yeezys are tough, man, because like I don't really wear them anymore, and if I were to wear them, it would really only be the these guys right here, the 700s, and the foam runners. But like these 350s were a gift, and I just want to have at least one pair of 350s, but like I never ever wear them, so I don't know what to do with those. So they're gonna stay there temporarily until I figure it out. If I do get rid of them, it's gonna be giving them to someone. I know a guy who definitely want them. But yeah, man, it's tough. This has been really tough. And I'll be honest, there were some shoes that I kind of like. This pair, the OG2s, I love this shoe, and I've worn it. But I just don't feel like I still need it in there. I think there are other shoes that I probably would prefer to have other than these. But for me, as like a Jordan collector, I feel like I want to have like one OG colorway from each shoe, or each Jordan model. Like this was from the $20 sneaker collection, so I kind of want to hold on to those for that reason. So it's kind of like, it sucks that I'm holding a spot from a shoe that I probably would prefer to wear, but at the same time, I'm trying to like, keep that clock going. So I don't know, guys, but let me know your thoughts on this entire collection in the comment section down below. If you watched this whole thing, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't yet. And as always, guys, see you in the next one.